And welcome to the Computer Game Show. My name is Sean Bell. I'm joined by Matthew Murray.
Hello.
And James Farley.
Hey.
I've yeah, that was weird.
I know, I felt like it. Don't know
James
why.
is now cool, everyone.
Just felt
James
like it.
Yeah, you've been working up to that, haven't
Felt
you?
like being cool.
And the one time you tried, we laughed. That's not fair, is it?
I'm not laughing at him. I like it.
Just
Are
call
you
us
wearing a
off
leather
guard.
jacket at the moment, James?
No, I'm wearing a black. No, it's not a black blazer. It's a
blazer?
Fuck me. Formal. It's a sweatshirt. It's a black sweatshirt.
I didn't know we were dressing up for tonight's one.
Jesus Christ.
I feel terribly underdressed.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I do enjoy wearing a blazer these days. It's taken 33 years, but
I hate it. Not a fan.
Blazer and chinos, mate. It's all right.
No.
What should be for a blazer, James?
Just don't like them. I just hate that kind of thing. I'm just not a fan. It's
Are you not okay with suits either?
I hate suits. Absolutely hate suits, and I hate it whenever I have to wear it for work, and I avoid it whenever possible because just don't like it.
Yeah, it's just like instant like imposter syndrome for me whenever I put a suit on. Like
I'm
I
just
can
too
dress
fat
a bit
and
smart.
I just realise I look stupid. That's why I don't like it. It's like when we went to that the awards thing for what was it? The Games Award thing that we did.
Yeah.
And it was like the first thing on my mind was I'm not wearing a suit. I'm not wearing a suit to this because it's a nightmare.
But you did wear a suit, didn't you, in the end, or did you wear like
no,
a shirt
I didn't,
and a blazer?
I don't remember, but I didn't wear a suit. I definitely didn't wear a suit because I remember that you and Dave did, and you looked kind of out of place because nobody else was wearing suits.
There's some people wearing suits. I thought
generally people dressed up for that. Maybe not a full suit, but
yeah. I think what did I? Yeah, I probably did do overdress, but fuck it, you know. I quite like dressing up, and it's rare. It's not often unless it's like a wedding and stuff. I get to do it that often anymore.
Yeah, but Matt, you didn't eat too many curries, and so it's fine for you. For me, it's not.
I actually now you're making me conscious that I overdress for that thing, but I don't care. I'll do it again. God damn it! Given the chance.
I do sympathise, James, because I know that like when you put a bit of weight on, it's like you can get the nicest clothes going, but there's like a limit on how good they're ever going to look on you, isn't there?
They're never going to look good. You're just, you're always kind of hiding your shame, aren't you? And it's just,
a little bit.
It's not good.
Yeah. Right.
Anyway, let's move on.
Incredibly body positive note. Should we get into feedback?
Yeah. Actually, before that, we're going to do a new thing called housekeeping because I keep forgetting to do this. So we're doing a live podcast at Resd this year. We're doing it on Saturday, 6th of April at 4 o'clock. You just need standard day tickets if you want to come see us. And you can get them at egx.net. So yeah, the Res Live show, Saturday, 6th of April, 4 o'clock. We're doing a meet afterwards. We're going to meet in the Minories pub, which is a 60-second walk from Tower Hill Tube from 6:30 onwards on that Saturday as well. So even if you haven't gone to Res and you fancy drinking and saying hello, we'll be in the Minories. Again, that's just 60 seconds walk apparently from Tower Hill Tube, and that's from 6:30 onwards.
I will not be there, but I may leave some signed photos with Matt, so it's okay.
10 quid. Yeah, I mean, if you're on the fence, I mean, Resd is wicked. Like, don't just come for us, for God's sake.
No, absolutely
not. It's just a really nice. Like, if you fancy DGX, but you don't like the idea of sitting in a giant aircraft hangar that's full of sweaty nerds, Resd is like the antidote to that. It's like sort of semi outdoors, and it's really pleasant. It's just it's just a really nice time.
It's so different from EGX, but and Tobacco Dock is a really great venue. It's really nice and airy and light, and it's lovely.
Yeah, proper nice. The downside being that if like the weather isn't good, that sort of ruins it, and then you immediately realise why these things normally take place in aircraft hangars. And it should be fine. You should come. It'll be great.
Also, Devolver announced they're bringing 14 games to EGX to Res, so it's going to be a good one for that alone.
Cool.
But also, if you want to, you can watch this do a podcast on stage, and Dave will be there. That's pretty much it. Also, we launched our website last week. Just go to computergameshow.com, and the website is live. Last week I was a bit up in the air, will it, won't be, but it was live in time for the show going out, and it's still live now.
I know you're a bit of a perfectionist, Matt. It was fine. Like,
was that TGCS thing real? Or
no,
was that...
no,
okay.
It wasn't. But
we'll get on to that.
We'll cover that in feedback. It wasn't real though.
The site's amazing, man. It's like full props to Matt for putting that together.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's proper nice.
Yeah, I'm happy.
Makes us look like we know what we're doing.
Turned out. Yeah. So, were you going to say something, Sean?
No, that was it.
Oh, damn, I thought I was going more
Sorry.
praise. That's it for housekeeping, but yeah, let's get into follow-up. Last week, and I guess every single week, I try and maybe adapt the news, maybe add some news stories in that I think maybe are better. I've been really good this week, and I haven't done that once, have I, James?
No, you've not done it this time.
No. I'm going to now stop doing that. Even if there's something massive that's happened, and you've forgotten, I'm just going to keep my mouth shut. But
it's a massive press release. Yeah, go on.
Well, I mean, I'm going to look at some of the news stories, or there's probably some things here which are probably press release related, but whatever, I'm not going to mention that. And Athene Allen, Matt seems really keen to micromanage every part of the show. If he really wants to do that, can he start his own podcast where he does everything? Well, Athene, I do most things on this show, so why would I possibly want to start another one?
I've noticed that you've got a new section to yourself now as well. Housekeeping. You've added that. So, I mean, I'm looking at the notes now. It's got like housekeeping, Matt, feedback, Matt. And it's like you're like colonising all these different sections of it.
I mean, I feel bad because I get to call myself the host, and I've got nothing. I just do the intro and then I just wander off.
You guys can do this.
Do you want me to do that? Do you want me to do housekeeping in future? Or do you want me to do feedback?
Yeah, let's change the name, and you can do it.
Okay.
I'd rather not have my voice over this entire show, but it needs to be done. I mean, James, you could have mentioned the Res Live show.
I could have done, but I'm not going, so I'm not really that bothered.
You know, you don't give a shit, do you?
No. Even when you were going, you probably couldn't have even named a date. I mean, you definitely couldn't name a date, hence why flights were booked when we were on stage.
That's very true. Yeah.
No, I mean, Athene, I don't really want to start another podcast. One, because it'll die on its arse, and two, I think I'll do enough as it is, frankly. I mean, that's not happening. Then we launched a website last week, as I mentioned, and SMW at Ustube on Twitter thought he'll be hilarious and changed it. So in the mobile header, it said TGCS instead of TCGS. I quote retweeted that from the show Twitter. I said, "Oh no, not again." I think a lot of people thought it was real.
I thought it was real. I was surprised.
Yeah. I mean, actually, when I first saw that picture, I was like, "Oh my god, I haven't, have I?" But even I, for a split second, had a bit of a heart attack and then changed and then checked the site and thought, okay, no, thank God it is. I didn't actually misspell it because, I mean, obviously I've been looking at it every single day for weeks. We've had multiple people look at it. I'm like, how did this typo possibly get through? Thankfully, it's just...
Well, you do, yeah, like when you've been working on something for so long, you do get that sort of snow blindness with it, don't you? Where you just like... Yeah,
and but I saw it. I was like, "Oh my god!" But no, thankfully, it's just a hilarious Photoshop. And then I think a lot of people were like, "Oh, it serves you right." You know, it's like, I mean, I saw some people being, mean about it. Frankly, I like they thought I've actually made that mistake. Don Indiana 747. So if Matt's master plan of stealthily naming the show to the game computer show, then Dave will have nothing anymore. First is serial, now is podcast. Getting some real the hand rocks the cradle vibes here, Matt Murray.
I mean, the game computer show does still sort of work because you could say it's like a really shit name for consoles. Like, I've got, what game computer have you got? Oh, I've got PlayStation 4.
What game computer do you have? Yeah, I like that actually.
It works.
Maybe it should be renamed.
I was never fully happy with our name, to be honest. I mean, I went.
There's no point.
Well, no,
we know that.
I went with it because I thought it'd be funny because it's so bad. But then over time, you just realise that it's just bad. I think.
Yeah. So it's a bit. Actually, it's been a while since we discussed this. For those who aren't aware, before we started the show, we had a fully democratic process where we all like voted for names, and it went through like loads of different rounds. And of course, if you've listened to any of our Game of the Year shows, you'll know how well that works. And we just ended up with the most generic name going. I think the idea was that it sounded really arrogant, like we thought we were the only one, like we're the only video games podcast. And I don't know, but I don't know if that comes off
No.
Don't know if it
we
works.
wanted the video game show, but we couldn't have that because somebody else had obviously done it. So
yeah, someone's already taken. I mean, I've sort of gone the other way where at the start it's like, oh, we can't really call it that, and then I sort of forget that it's. Well, I don't forget it's called that, but it's like when you first heard the name Wii. I first thought, oh, Wii, funny, but after a while, it's just a Wii, and you say
just a name.
You say it every day, and you don't realise until you talk to someone who might not be familiar, and they're like, the what? And now I'm like, oh yeah, I've got a podcast, it's called The Computer Game Show, and I don't realise just how basic and stupid that sounds. It's like, and you got The Computer Game Show, how old are you? It's like, oh yeah. We have talked about on the show the famous typo when we first got the artwork back.
Oh my god.
I mean, I keep meaning to like post these on Twitter, and maybe I will now. I'm going to mention it now. But so Dave was like liaising with oh my god, Hannah, I should know this because it's in the show notes every single week. It's Big Shimmery Hill, I think is a guy on Twitter.
Big Shimmery Wall, isn't it?
What was that say?
Big Shimmery Wall.
Big Shimmery Wall. Big Shimmery Hill. Big Shimmery Wall. Who did our artwork on the show, and so Dave was liaising with him. Says it's gonna be called The Computer Game Show, and that was that. And then when he sent the artwork back, he sends loads of versions, obviously, in numerous different styles, and obviously we like the one with the 4 stripes, and we went with it. But when Dave said, "Hey guys, here's the artwork. What do you think?" when I first saw it, it's like it's a joke. Like, what? Why have you done this? And he's like, "What do you mean?" And I don't know if it is like Dave's autocorrect or typo, but the name of the show was The Computer Game Show, spelled C-U-M, Pewter Show. And I was like, what, David? And David basically hadn't even realised. He just saw these and thought, yeah, these are great. What do you guys think? It's like, how... So... Not only was our show pretty much like it's called The Computer Game Show, but then this guy actually thought we would be so laddish and call it The Computer Game Show.
He didn't even question being, like, edgy.
That's what I love about it. Is that, like, on the one hand, yeah, okay, it spells "cum" instead, and that's kind of funny, but it's not like a pun or a joke or anything, is it? The Computer Game Show doesn't work on like any level.
No, it's just rubbish, isn't it? It doesn't make any sense.
I mean, yeah, if The Computer Game Show wasn't bad enough, the fact it's called The Computer Game Show, but also he was so professional. There was no like, are you guys sure? Or what is this? He's just like, yeah, here's a brief. I responded to the brief. There was no joking about it. And even Dave didn't realise. It wasn't until he showed us. I'm like, come on, Dave, what the fuck? And I will post them. Will I post them? It's quite embarrassing. I'll probably post them somewhere.
I think rather than posting them, just start like subtly replacing like actual like the Twitter header image and stuff, and just
I should do that before Wednesday, before the show goes out, and see if anyone notices. But then someone will. It's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I don't know. Actually, it's quite embarrassing. I'm going to change it back now. Anyway, but going back to it, it wasn't ever called TGCS in the menu. That was just SMW being clever, and it's all backfired because people believed him. Luke Summerhays, last week you spoke a little about the new Pokemon trailer. There's a little more to the belief that the game is set in the UK than Matt let on. Each Pokemon region so far has been analogous to a real-world location. The Kanto, Kansai, Kyushu, and Hokkaido regions of Japan, then New York, France, and Hawaii. There were hints in previous games that the UK would be coming up next, and there's some other subtle hints in the trailer. Part of me kind of enjoys this, but the rest of me is a little bummed out. The UK is a shithole, and it hardly matches with Pokemon's themes of togetherness and love for nature at the moment, does it? Political, like that. As for the Pokemon games evolving, you're pretty much right. There are changes and additions in each new generation, but the core mechanics don't change and probably never will. Nintendo have backed a lot on the idea that players' Pokemon are permanent and can be transferred across to each new game. I don't know why I sent this email. You don't care. Whatever. Well, you know what? I appreciate the email, Luke.
But I was going to say that email's absolutely fine. Why did you lose faith right at the end?
Yeah, you almost had it. You just dropped it right there. But in terms of like games evolving, you're right. There are changes, but actually the core mechanics don't change. I mean, surely after Zelda Breath of the Wild, there's always a chance for games to totally evolve. I know, like, you can transfer Pokemon, but I'm sure even with like a Breath of the Wild style change to Pokemon, I'm sure they could still keep the transferring in. I'm sure that would be what do you guys
I suppose
reckon?
you would have to, I don't know, either make sort of existing statistics or whatever translate, or just say, look, you can transfer the Pokemon, but just certain elements aren't going to carry across.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, totally depends on how they would choose to rework it, I guess.
I guess that since Breath of the Wild, everyone's like looking for which of the franchises are going to make a big, massive change.
Yeah.
Again.
Yeah, because they've shown they can do it, so...
Pokemon's always... Yeah, but Pokemon isn't Nintendo, is it? Like, not
True.
Nintendo, it's Game Freak, and it's like... I mean, I've always felt that it's like a franchise that they don't really want to change that much anyway, because people are really happy with the way it is, and there's no reason to like make big changes.
Yeah, yeah, totally. Isn't there... This is a Japanese design sort of... What's the word I'm after? Tradition,
philosophy?
where it's like...
It's refining things.
Well, yeah, and it's basically if something worked, then and you're doing another one, like you can't ever change it because what if you ruin the thing that worked?
Yeah, it's just like keep refining and refining until you get it like as perfect as possible. But
yeah,
like
so it's
refining without like massive wholesale changes is like the thing.
Because you risk just disrupting the thing that people liked about it, and therefore, what's the point?
Yeah.
Which I can see the logic, but yeah. It's weird.
Cool. Fistworthy at Rusty Steelpipe on Twitter. Obviously, last week Sean talked about Assault Android Cactus, and he mentions for further Sean's thoughts on Assault Android Cactus, please check out Midnight Resistance episode 46 back at EGX 2014.
Fuck, so
I should have listened to that before this to see how different your thoughts were.
Were they exactly the same?
No, I should have done. I mean,
you should have. Sorry, I thought you said you had.
And if you're clever, Sean, you should have like written a transcript and read that exact thing out.
Yeah, just to see if anyone noticed.
Yeah.
No, it'd be interesting because obviously that was 5 years ago, and I have no idea what I said then. I can't imagine I said more then than I did now because obviously I only played it for 20 minutes at EGX. But no, that'd be interesting.
You probably said the same stuff, but back then you probably saying things like radical and bodacious.
Yeah, probably. And like my voice hadn't broken at that point.
Yeah,
so
I mean it is only 5 years, and
different.
I'm treating like you're talking like from the 80s or 90s. But
yeah, exactly.
People
Yeah,
are like, this is wicked, dudes. Am I right?
I played this on a 386 computer.
Cowabunga, eat my shorts. This game is wicked. No. SMW is back. I should have blocked him. I should have cancelled him from the show, but I've added it in now, so I might as well. I enjoyed the discussion on correct button placement and controller names. When Sean refers to the X button on PlayStation, I know nobody calls it anything different, but as an ex-Sony employee, I can confirm it is actually cross. I mean, no one with a sane mind calls it cross, surely.
No, I mean, as soon as I read it, I was like, no, I did know that. I have read that before. But yeah, X. Sorry.
I mean, but you guys just call it X, wouldn't you?
Yeah,
there's no way.
I understand the distinction. Like, obviously, we call it X because we see, you have like A, B, X, and Y on most other controllers. So you call it an X, but then I understand, obviously, on the PlayStation, they're not letters; they're symbols.
Yeah.
So it's a cross. It's not an X.
Yeah,
but then you say circle. You don't say O.
Yeah, that is a good point. And I don't say. Yeah, I do say triangle. Yeah. Yeah.
What would you say? What would you say instead of triangle? It's not a letter, Matt.
Upside down V with a line across it. I don't know. That's what I call it, Sean. Anyway, also he mentions regarding Assault Android Cactus. If you had Xbox Live last July, you might already own this as part of Games with Gold.
I do. I checked. It was on there. I haven't played it, but I did see it was there.
Well, you should.
Games with Gold games, I rarely download because it's just not as easy as on PlayStation, where every week I go to the store on the web and it's like, purchase and that's it. But on the Xbox, they all come out at different times of the month as well, don't they?
It is hassle.
Did they? I didn't know.
I mean, just finding them on the dashboard is
it's hard. It's hard to find them,
yeah.
and also when you're on dashboard, you've got like it actually just downloads. I don't want to download every game. I just want to purchase them so they're in my library.
That's also annoying. Yeah,
It's funny how Sony got wise to that, didn't they? Like, so they when you collecting your PlayStation Plus games, it went from like download to just add it to your account.
Yeah,
I think they realised loads of people were just sort of banking it, but they're not actually downloading it, which is fine. So yeah, that's pretty handy.
Yeah, I asked this on Twitter. I'll ask you guys, but yeah. So when for PlayStation Plus games, and pretty much every game or DLC, anything I buy or purchase, or whatever, I always get it through the PlayStation Web Store or through the app. I just find it quicker. Like PS Plus, I just go store. I just basically type in S. It brings up the store page on PlayStation.com. I go to the PS Plus page. add them onto a basket, and it's done. Like it's like the actual PlayStation Store on the console, I find it's just hideously designed. It's a total ball ache. So I basically use the web stuff for pretty much all my purchases. What do you guys use? What do you use, James?
I usually use like mobile or like on the web or whatever. I never use the console because, like you said, it's a real pain to like actually navigate that thing. It's not good.
You see, I use the console, but I couldn't tell you why. Like, I've got no justification for it. I think it's just sometimes I'll turn the PS4 on and just think, oh yeah, I haven't claimed my PS Plus games, and I'll just do it there and then. But yeah, it is almost certainly quicker via the web or the app or whatever.
Yeah, because when I say okay, new PS Plus games are out, it's like I open my phone, go to the app, or open on desktop, and it's so much quicker.
I mean, conversely, if I ever get sent a code, that definitely goes in on the app instead, because that's way easier. Because usually, like, it's during the day, so I'm probably at work, and it's easy to just go on the app, paste it in, and then obviously tell the PS4 remotely to download it, which is cool. But yeah.
That's it for follow-up. If you want to leave us follow-up or feedback or any sort of thoughts or suggestions or whatever, it's at ComputerGamePod on Twitter, or you can email podcast@thecomputergameshow.com.
Cool. Right, James, have you seen this video that's doing the rounds on the internet with the Japanese removal company?
No, what's this one?
So, basically, it's just this, I don't know, it's some, like, vlogger who just does it's like, oh, we're Westerners in Japan, isn't it crazy? But
it's not Logan Paul, is it?
What, sorry? It's not Logan Paul, thank God.
Okay.
No, not that bad. And they they'd heard the like incredible things about Japanese removal companies, and they got a company. So they're moving flat, and yeah, they got this removal company in, and basically they documented the whole thing, and it's incredible. They like really meticulously detail, like this team of people like rush in and like go to like every like fucking like set of shelves whatever in the house. They like know everything and like exactly how it was laid out, and like label everything up, put it all in boxes, and then before they start moving the furniture around, they like put all this stuff up against the walls so that like you didn't bang into anything or knacker the paintwork or whatever. So it's all just like so like well organized and
so it's like beyond
pristine.
Bubble wrap. It's just like,
basically, yeah. It's fascinating to watch. So do that. But you're the removal company, and I'm the guy who's moving house, and I guess my belongings are the news. And the new house is the show, and the old house is everything like the internet that isn't the show.
Okay. So all of these have got to be like individually like itemized and like put in the
just
right
really
place.
neatly presented, labelled up. Just
Okay. Here's the news. Okay, so okay.
Oh, that was good. That's the best one yet, Sean.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was amazing.
The problem is, right, I've made this a thing now, so now I've got to do this every week.
Also, you made it ridiculously elaborate after week 2.
I was really looking forward to seeing what you were going to come up with this week. But I was sitting there thinking, what's it going to be? And you didn't disappoint. It was really good. It was excellent. Anyway, here's the news. So, first piece we got is Microsoft's disc. Oh, this is the one I had trouble with when I was practicing this earlier. Microsoft discless.
Whoa! So you practice reading the news?
In front of the mirror with a little.
Sometimes, right?
Oh my God! Well, this changes everything, James. Now I know why you never want me to add stuff, because you've been practicing for basically once Monday happens, on Tuesday you have rehearsals all day, Chen. Wednesday night, the big one. Okay, I'm so sorry for adding news stories without the rehearsals.
I mean, usually I try and collate it all on a Sunday, so then Sunday night I can do a dry run before we do like the show. You see. But when I was reading, you see, okay, it just so happened this week I was reading these out to Chen to see what she thought.
What did she say?
She doesn't care about any of them, does she?
No, of course she doesn't. But it's like
she's like, hang on, discless. What? Does he play old Xbox games as well?
But when I started reading this one, I just can't say it right. It's okay. Microsoft's discless Xbox One S out in May. There we go.
Congratulations.
Yeah, it's really difficult. It's like what? No, it's the Microsoft's discless Xbox One S. There's too many S's. It's too many S's. It makes it too difficult.
It's 2. Well, I mean, it's 3. 3 technically, but it's 2.
There's 2. Yeah, they're all over the place.
There's actually 5 with like softs, discless.
Yeah. No, but discless. That's 2. That's 2 S sounds.
No, but if you come off Microsoft's and then into diskless.
Microsoft. Yeah, actually, no, you're right. Microsoft's diskless. Yeah, there you go.
It's difficult. It's not easy. It's This is why I do a dry run to make sure there's no mistakes.
Hang on, where's it all? I can't find it all written out on the article. Microsoft's diskless Xbox. What is it?
Microsoft's diskless Xbox One S out in May.
Microsoft's diskless Xbox One S. Yes.
Okay, so anyway, this is coming out in May, and it's called the Xbox One S All Digital Edition. Mm-hmm. Or as some hilarious people are saying online, Xbox One Sad.
I mean, you do know one of those hilarious people was on this podcast right now.
Yeah, who I'm upset because I said it in our group, and then I thought it's not that it's not funny enough to tweet. And then loads of people were tweeting it and getting them numbers.
You should have tweeted it, and you did it straight away as well. I said that was brilliant. I mean, and not that's the reason to tweet it. But.
Yeah. So anyway, this project, it's separate to the next generation machines, obviously, and it should launch at like a sort of a sub £200 like price point, but nobody really knows. And it's basically just identical to the current Xbox One S, but without a disc drive. So I guess the whole point of this is Game Pass, isn't it? And just digital downloads and stuff. And I mean, to me, this feels like they're just sort of priming for the next generation, like this idea of like digital only. What do you think?
I think, testing the waters. I think basically this is what they should have done with the Xbox One to begin with, because obviously all the controversy that initially surrounded it was clearly around the fact that actually they probably wanted it to be digital only, but they knew wasn't quite time for it. So I think this is them just dipping their toe in. Which I think it probably is time. I think it's who goes in game shops anymore. No, plenty of people do, but not me. See, I mean, personally.
I think we're at a reasonably good state at the moment with all this, because before my main concern was that you wouldn't be able to buy it like, you know, secondhand games and stuff like that. But there's sales all the time these days.
Yeah, exactly.
Then it doesn't really matter so much, does it? Let's be honest. It's like you can pick up stuff really cheap now often anyway on the stores. So
yeah.
But no, I mean, I guess there's still that thing, isn't there, about, you know, people that have really slow internet and, you know, they can't download it and stuff like that.
But then most like disc-based games you buy have like fucking massive patches still. So
I mean, like
Division 2 one.
Division last week was that like 94 gig.
Yeah.
Was it definitely? Yeah, because I know it's like some formats it's 50 and some it's 90 or something.
It's 50 for Xbox, and then it was for some reason 96, I think, for a PS4. I have no idea why that.
And that's if you got like the disc version as well.
Yeah.
So it's almost pointless buying a disc at that point if you're concerned potentially about downloads and whatnot. But
that is
very bizarre. Anyway, this is obviously prepping for next gen. It's interesting because obviously the rumours about next gen is that there will be. One that next gen's coming in the next like year and a half or so, but certainly by the end of 2020, and there'll be a digital only version, and then like the beefy next gen machine. Do you think there could be a confusion? I mean, like this, and then like another.
I don't think so.
I think as long
digital
as
version in like a year's time.
I think as long as whatever you buy plays the Xbox games.
Yeah,
I don't think people like if you're not too worried about how good things look or whatever. You know, you can just buy an Xbox and then any game you buy in one of those green cases will work on it. I don't think that'll put anyone off. I think that's enough.
Yeah.
See, also, like with the backwards compatibility stuff, it doesn't matter so much either, isn't it? Anyway, because you can download like 360 games from the store and all that kind of stuff as well. So
yeah, totally. I mean, it's a false equivalency, really, but like, you know, DVDs or Blu-rays or whatever, you just buy a DVD player, and I guess that's where Microsoft want this to end up. Is like you want to play Xbox games, you buy an Xbox. There are different ones for different, you know, if you want to be a hardcore about it, you can spend £500, but you don't have to.
Yeah, I mean, as a medium, it's like the disc does seem to be just like disappearing. I mean, have either of you ever bought a Blu-ray? Because I never have.
Well, I was going to say
a Blu-ray when I first got my PS3. Yeah, definitely. I had like Transformers or something on it, but that was years and years. Well, obviously many years ago.
Yeah.
You see, because I think I complained about this on the show. It must have been about 6 months ago or something now. So when I got my first 4K telly, and I was like, right, cool, let's watch some 4K stuff. And then it was basically Netflix, and that was it. Yeah. Like, so at the time, certainly like the versions of the apps that I had on my TV, there was the Amazon app, didn't have anything 4K. There was I don't know how to pronounce it. Does YouTube, yeah. But the Rakuten?
Rakuten.
So that has since updated, as has the Amazon one. So there's 4K stuff on them now. But at the time I was like, I've got Blade Runner here and I can't fucking watch it in 4K. So yeah.
But then I've like got a 4K TV and I've got like Netflix 4K, but I'm not actually. I mean, it looks good, but I'm not massively impressed with 4K Netflix, I must say.
No.
But
it's mostly about.
Sorry, James.
I was going to say 4K for me has all just been about the games. Really, I'm not really terribly bothered about the TV stuff.
But I think if you are bothered, I mean, like, there's going to be no comparison to a disc anyway. So I think if I was massively into like movies, and I mean, right now I'm happy to just deal with whatever Netflix or what any of the other like movie providers gives me online. I mean, I'm not. I love films, but I can live with like there's slight degradation in quality.
Yeah.
Rather than but if I was really desperate, I would absolutely get a disc every time because that's going to be the absolute best quality for this sort of stuff.
Well, this is the thing.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. I mean,
for me, it's like. So yeah, Blu-ray wise, like so something like Blade Runner 2049 or Mad Max Fury Road or like when Into the Spider-Verse comes out on Blu-ray, I'll get that because those films are good enough that I would like to physically own them. But most other things, I'll just rent it on via an app or whatever, probably.
Yeah, but back to this console. I mean, while I'm excited because it's new hardware, I know it's just an S and I've got an X, so I'm
bloody
not
love
going
new
to.
Hardware, don't you?
I do love a new bit of hardware. Obviously, I'm not going to buy it, or am I? But I can't wait to see what it looks like. I mean, do you think they'll make it like
the same
Apple TV? They won't make it Apple TV style puck.
It'll look like the Xbox One S just without a disc drive. I don't think it'll be that much smaller.
No, I think it definitely will. What's the point? What, you think exactly the same as an S, but there's no disc drive?
I think maybe a bit smaller, but I mean, whatever they're doing with this, it's going to be so that it's cheaper, isn't it, to manufacture? That's the whole point of this.
I mean, in terms of, I'm just thinking, like in terms of the cost of like design and manufacture and stuff. I imagine I've not looked inside an Xbox. I imagine it's quite complicated, and if they can literally, like, say, just pull out the disk drive and leave everything, like all the other circuits, the same. That'd be a lot cheaper than like rebuilding it all and making it look different.
But also, yes, was done a few years ago. They may have found other providers or ways of shrinking it, which actually isn't that expensive. I mean, I think if they just said, "Oh, here's the," I guess it is called an Xbox One S or Digital Edition. I guess it's not like I guess it's not an Xbox new name, whatever that is. I guess.
Yeah. So it's put an iteration on something
I guess
existing,
I can see what you mean because it's just. Yeah. But I'll be disappointed if it's just literally the same, but there's no disk drive inside. I would like them to make a cool little like puck thing or something a bit smaller, a little bit different.
Yeah, totally. I mean, they've been on a good run recently though, because their machines do look good. Like they really do. Like I think the Xbox One X looks good. The S looks brilliant. Yeah, I mean, the original console is a travesty. It's the ugliest console I've ever owned. But the later stuff has been really good.
Yeah,
totally.
I think the X looks absolutely fantastic. But this is interesting. I mean, obviously, I was going to say it's all about Game Pass and stuff. What do you think that they're going to try and set it up? Because right now you can get an S for like as little as like $175.
Yeah, that's the thing. Because that's what I was wondering with this. Because if they release this at say $199 or whatever, I don't see why that's a great price really. Because compared with because like you said, they always have offers on Xbox One S's. You can get them really cheap here.
Yeah.
So don't know.
Yeah, I mean, interested to know what.
So currently on Amazon, it's £200 actually for 1 terabyte, and if it's digital only, it's going to be a minimum of 1 terabyte. I guess they'll just stick at 1 terabyte. They're not going to have different options, are they?
No, I wouldn't have thought
so. If an S currently is, and you can get with 4s of 210 with Fortnite, with Fortnite for 230. I mean, it would be amazing if this is like 175. Do you reckon they can go 150?
Nah.
I was going to say, I'm wondering how much they pay for the Blu-ray drive in it, because I looked at getting one for the laptop, and I'm thinking you can get one for like sort of 60-ish quid.
And you're lucky there, but obviously looking at like wholesale, wouldn't they? So
exactly, yeah. So they'll be paying a lot less for it, but yeah, it's one of the things that like seems like a big deal, but it might only save them about 20 quid.
But also, they're going to want us to be a loss leader and get people in with Game Pass. Like give away with
true.
With my ex, I got a 3-month Game Pass thing. That's just when Game Pass first came out or got announced. But I can imagine them giving like another 3 months or maybe 6 months of this. I guess 3 months, and to sort of get used to it, and then So they're hoping actually they're going to get people with subscriptions. The hardware, I think they would take a loss on the hardware as an experiment now, and see what learnings they can do now before they release the all digital next gen version. So I wouldn't be surprised if they said it's $149. You get 3 months of Game Pass in it.
Because you're
ruling
ruling
out a really
out
compelling prospect, wouldn't it?
Yeah, and like you're ruling out like anyone playing second-hand stuff on it or swapping games with mates or whatever.
Yeah.
Like everything you play on that, you have to have paid money for to Microsoft. So
If they just here's the £200 thing, I don't think that's almost like a wasted opportunity. This is an opportunity to learn from this. And I think if they'd did it $149 or hell, maybe like $129, imagine that'd be like, this is lots of people would
probably get one. Like,
if it was at $150, I'd probably even consider buying one to just get rid of this piece of crap one I've got at the moment. I'd be quite happy to do that. But the only other problem is that I do have a few games on disc, and I wouldn't really want to have to buy them again and all that kind of thing. That'd be a nuisance.
Yeah, I mean, I would love it if it's between 125 and 150. I think that'd be a really exciting proposition.
Yeah, totally.
I just think it'd be a waste of opportunity if it's higher than that.
The scary side of this is that one day the servers will get turned off.
Yeah.
Potentially. I mean, we've only really seen it with obviously the Wii eShop, or whatever they called it. Wii Online. What did they call it? I forget. The Wii Shopping Channel. That was it. So that just got unceremoniously binned a couple of months back. So there's games on there. They're gone now forever. And at least with disc-based games, if you physically hold on to it, no one can take it away from you.
But if you have disc-based games, the servers can still go down.
True, yeah, and then you can't play them online, or you can't get the patches, or whatever.
I mean, because that's going to happen with Destiny at some point, isn't it? Like the original Destiny, they will shut that off at some point, won't they? And then that will be unplayable. Like you won't be able to play it anymore, it'll be a shame.
Yeah,
I mean, what do you think about
it's interesting in the
when things leave Netflix? Like things come away from Netflix and it is annoying. You're like, I wanted to watch that last week, or now, but it was here last week and it's gone.
Yeah.
Obviously, the difference is that you might have spent 50 quid for a game and then it goes. But I think that's sort of part of the territory. I mean, it's annoying and it's not great, but I just expect.
But then we've also had, was it GTA 4 or 5 had certain songs just patched out of it?
Yeah, that happened. Yeah,
because licenses ran out, which is just mad. Like the fact that you can buy a game with stuff in it. And it's only songs on the soundtrack, but that the precedent has been set that they can remove stuff from a game that you bought, which is
and also
mental.
It makes re-releases really difficult because there was that with Outrun, wasn't there? Like they couldn't do anything with that, and also didn't Rock Band have this problem as well? Like a while ago,
I never heard about it, but it makes sense.
Yeah, it's annoying.
Sean, you haven't got an Xbox. What sort of price? Would it have to be for you to think I'm going to get one of these?
I mean, it's my birthday at the end of the month. If it was $150, I could get a few people to club together and buy one. But is that? I mean, that 50 quid saving, is that enough to? Because I would like to have the option to play 4K Blu-rays on it, even though I don't think I'd use it a lot.
Which you wouldn't have with this one.
Exactly, yeah. So maybe it would have to be sub 150. Like if it was 129, that would seal it, I think. I mean, the money I'd save if I just got that and Game Pass.
Exactly, yeah.
It's an investment,
Game Pass,
isn't it?
there's loads of offers now for 50 quid a year. Just you can get this and Game Pass for an entire year for 180 quid. Imagine that.
Yeah.
Where have you seen it at 50 quid for the year, Matt?
It was all. I mean, maybe the deals are gone now, but all over Christmas, and you can still see some now. I think Smiths. I went the other day, and it's still 50 quid for the year.
Smiths.
See, I sometimes because I've got Game Pass at the moment. And I've got it's for 2 months. And I was looking through the catalogue though. There's not a lot there that I'd really want to play. That's the only problem I've got.
I think there's a lot of stuff that you probably haven't. You should try. I think it's Arisen. I played it for Christmas. I thought that was excellent. There's loads of stuff on there, but
but there's a lot of stuff that's not amazing stuff. Do you know what I mean? It's
there's a lot of filler.
Yeah, it's a bit. Do you know what it feels like? It feels like early Netflix. You know, like how Netflix was when it was first launched in the UK, and it was there was some stuff there. There was some good stuff or whatever, but not a lot. And it wasn't it didn't. I was always not sure if it was worth the money or not. Whereas now there's just tons of really good stuff on there all the time, and this feels a bit like that. It doesn't at the moment. It doesn't feel like it's at that level yet.
I mean,
it will be at some point, I'd imagine, but at the moment, it doesn't feel like it's quite there yet.
It's pretty amazing that Just Cause 4 came out, and that's like 3 months old.
Yeah, but that's also like an average game, isn't it, according to what everyone says? It's like, the reason it's probably on there is because it didn't sell that well.
Sold, yeah.
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 But it's still, I mean, like 3 months after launch, like it
didn't sell that well.
Yeah, but I don't care about sales figures. Like, it's pretty cool. The game 3 months after come out is like, now suddenly on Game Pass.
Mm.
I mean, I've got no inspiration to play at all because those games just don't interact with me. I mean, I'm not saying I'm going to play it, but you've got to say that's pretty impressive for a game only 3 months old. And it's not like here's a random indie game.
If it was a really good game, then I'd be like, yeah, that's impressive. But apparently it isn't, so I'm not that impressed.
Yeah, but it's not shit by any means, is it?
It's just fine, isn't it? But
it's another Just Cause game. So, like, I mean, I really enjoyed the other, so I'm fully expecting to enjoy this one. But I can see why a lot of people are like, oh, it's just flying around blowing stuff up. Yeah, good fun.
That game I just mentioned, basically the Dark Souls one is called Ashen. I think you like that, James. Yeah. But, yeah.
It doesn't sound convinced.
Okay. Anyway, next news story is that VR is coming to Nintendo Labo. So this is weird. I mean, this is Toy-Con 4, and it's due on the 12th of April. I asked Chen if we could buy this, and she said not until I've built the giant robot set thing.
I mean, that's fair enough.
Still got that
still
somewhere.
In the fucking box. Jesus.
Still haven't even opened it, but yeah, I would do it sometime. Anyway, so the main build is a set of goggles that will hold the Switch, and then so it's kind of like Google Cardboard, and then there's these other attachments which include blaster, camera, bird, elephant, and wind pedal. Wind pedal is the weirdest one. Like, if you look at it, I'm thinking, what is that for? Doesn't make any sense. And it says, so these are going to be available as like a big pack or separately. But then the other thing, which is a bit odd, is that they're making all of the games playable in 2D as well. So,
okay.
I mean, I guess that it's because of like the whole 3DS stuff. Do you remember that with the kids?
Yeah, I mean, they really like that, aren't they? Yeah.
It's a shame, though, because it basically implies that
VR is optional and therefore not great.
Yeah, so it won't really use the VR as well as it could.
Yeah.
It's interesting, like, though, you know, because Nintendo sort of did that sort of weird non-statement ages ago that were like, we'll do VR when we can figure out a way of doing it that won't make people sick. And it looks like their answer to that is make a game where you only do it for like 5 minutes at a time and it isn't really necessary anyway, yeah. So
yeah, I'm fascinated to see how this works.
Out. But I mean, it's not going to look amazing, is it? Because that is a 7...
I mean, it's only 720p screen, so that's
exactly.
like 5. It's like 355 whatever is per eye.
Yeah,
this is true, but I don't think it matters very much.
No, for the sort of games that you'll play on it, it'll be fine. Like, because like having used like Google Cardboard, like it's not great, but like but because you're just like, this is literally just some folded cardboard and 2 shitty plastic lenses, and for that it's pretty good.
Yeah.
And I think this will benefit from that same like, oh wow, this actually works. How weird.
But also, going by like earlier Labo games that have come out, these are not going to be like deep experiences. Like, it's going to. This is just going to be like a taster, isn't it? Of just like, look, you can see a bird flying around or whatever. Yeah. You know, that's probably about it.
Look, you can see the wind going around after you press the wind pedal.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I'm intrigued. I've not watched the proper trailer. I've just seen the pictures of it and stuff. Is this? I presume this is like full price. Is it?
Well, that's the thing. It's like 70 quid or whatever for the one. That's for the one that's got like all of the things, including the wind maker pedal thing. But then you can also buy a cheaper one. I think there was like 40. That was just 40, like one of them. Yeah.
Okay.
I know.
I think the 40 ones actually only include the other things. But if you need I think the VR goggles only come in like a starter kit, and that's the more expensive one.
Yeah.
I think it's 40 quid for the extras. Yeah.
Yeah. Again, it comes down to how substantial the game is, isn't it? Because 40 quid for a little bit of cardboard is shit, but obviously it comes with a game as well. Like, has anyone done... Because I know when Labo first came out, they made some noise about the fact that it like had like quite a rudimentary sort of programming language and stuff.
Well, there's the Toy-Con Garage, which has got all of that stuff. I mean, I've not tried it at all, but some people have made stuff with that, which is supposed to be pretty good, but it's just... It doesn't seem to have caught fire.
I've not heard anything about it, which is a shame, because it's potentially really interesting, but I've just not heard anything about it. So, yeah.
But I mean, I think anybody expecting... I mean, nobody's really expecting, although that this is going to be like a proper like sort of VR experience at all. I think it's just going to be like a
Yeah.
Curiosity.
Yeah, I mean...
A bit like those kaleidoscope things you used to get as a kid. Like you sort of turn it around, put it up to your face,
Yeah, I mean, I'm not expecting anything more than that, but this is the first Labo. I'm like, actually, this is kind of interesting to me, but I'm probably not going to bother. I mean, it's going to be quite expensive just to... Yeah, but I hope one of you get it so we can find out what it's like.
I've
got to
get
building.
But yeah, you got to build the other one
robot.
First. I'll tell you what, send me the robot. And then you can be like, oh yeah, it's gone to a happy home. It's fine.
It's been built now. I've bought the VR one. Thank you.
I bought spare parts for the piano this week because did I tell you what happened with that? I can't remember.
No.
So the last one I had to build from the variety pack was the piano, and I got about 3/4 of the way through it. I was building it with Asher, and then next week I came to continue it, and the pieces had all gone missing because he'd been playing with them, and so basically can't finish it because there's like loads of bits that are like the reflective sheets and all that kind of thing. So I was quite angry and he cried for ages, and then we had the conversation about you probably shouldn't play with stuff like that if I tell you not to, and that's why we can't finish this. And but it's been long enough now that he's forgotten about that now. So I got some spare parts. So I'm going to finish that, and then I'm going to build the robot. That's my next thing. Maybe over the weekend or something.
Do it, man.
Live stream it. So it's, as James said, it's $80 currently for all of them, but only $40 for the starter kit. So actually, I guess I could just get the cheaper one. I mean, does this interest you enough to pick it up, Sean?
I'm weighing it up. I am. It's more that the thing for Labo with me was like, where am I going to put all the fucking cardboard? Whereas this seems relatively manageable.
Yeah.
Especially if we just get the starter kit. Doesn't seem
it's
too
the
bad.
idea of Labo that you build it and then deconstruct it and put it away and rebuild it later, or
no, I don't think so.
No, you just build it and that's
it's one and done, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, once you built it, it'd be difficult to rebuild them again because the way that they're all like creased and all that kind of thing.
So what things have you got built in your house then, James?
I've forgotten. I've got all of them done, apart from
where are they? In the loft?
No, they're not in the loft. They're up on a shelf upstairs somewhere actually, and they're a bit annoying because it's like, where do you put these? Because they're like like Sean said, they're very awkward because they don't fit anywhere, and they're just I've got a fishing rod and
quite big and easily damaged, which is a winning combo, isn't it?
Yeah. So when you build a robot, it's like where can I?
I don't know where I'm going to put it because it's massive as well. It's like absolutely gigantic, and I don't know where I'm going to put it.
Isn't it like several days' work just to build it or something?
Apparently, it's quite a lot of hours.
It's
to
hours,
put it together.
I think that should be a stream, James. You should. Do that.
Oh yes, please do that. Because apparently it's like 7 hours for the big one.
Oh man, that's what I'm scared about. Is sort of starting it.
Please do an all-day stream, like 9 to 5. The trouble is that
my son. See, Asher always wants to build stuff like this, but he'll only do it for about 20 minutes. Then he'll get bored because it's it is quite complicated. Like some of these, so
it must be like heartbreaking. So when he first gets interested in stuff like that, and you're like, yeah, fuck, this is stuff we could do together now. And it's like, oh no, actually, he's just getting really bored and annoyed and wandering off or breaking it or.
And this is it's a bit too hard because he was only 5 as well when we got it, and it's a bit too much.
Because the robot one's for teenagers, isn't it? It's like 12 and up or something. Yeah.
I love the idea of Chen saying that you can only buy the VR one if you build the robot. And he's like, okay, I'll build it, and he built it, and next day Chen opens the windows to see you chuck into a skip next morning. Did you actually use that? No, but I've ordered a VR one, so.
See, also the other thing about that was it's because he got that for his birthday, and his birthday's next month, and Chen was saying to us the other day well, no, Chen was saying to us, shut up. Chen was saying to us, what should we get, for him for his birthday? And I said, we could just give him that robot suit again. He won't remember.
Poor Asher.
Jesus.
Yeah, not good. Anyway, shall I move on?
Please. That's news story number 2.
Okay. Anyway, so Anthem crashes are being dealt with, and apparently there's no bricked consoles. So there's a patch that should be available.
I want you to correct this, James, because last week you took lots of pleasure in it's bricking consoles, lol. I want you to do an
I mean, that was the story that was going around.
That was the story that was there, and then also the only people here that are saying that there are no brick consoles are BioWare. We don't know for certain if that's true.
No. Another firm did research, and actually they found that no one had actually have a brick console.
Well, so they checked every single person's console to see if it's bricked or not.
They checked all the reports, and there wasn't, and it basically all stemmed from that one. And turns out it's like something dodgy with that or whatever. But yeah, it was just basically a big hoo ha because someone said bricked, and suddenly everyone jumps on it because it's Anthem. And actually,
people do misuse the word. To be fair, yeah.
So anyway, as I said, there's a fix that should be available probably by the time you're listening to this. And yeah, as Matt said, like BioWare have confirmed that there was no consoles were left bricked by the issue, despite the claims on social media. There's also going to be a fix for this there's like this level 1 rifle bug, which makes it the most powerful weapon in the game.
Well, yeah, it's just basically that there's a bunch of level 1 weapons that were more powerful than their like maxed out counterparts.
Yeah, so some people figure out so the damage numbers that the game gives you are meaningless. And actually the time that it takes, like your lower level guns to kill something is actually less than
it's the same amount of rounds, isn't it? I mean, again, like the Anthem fans, both of them listening to this, I'm sure they'll correct us. But yeah, it's like if you fire like a powerful weapon, it might have like big numbers coming off it and small numbers coming off the level 1 weapon. But actually, they both took the same amount of rounds or very similar.
Yeah, and it's obviously the game trying to do a bit of sort of adjusting for because Destiny does this. If an enemy's way harder than you, then it's really difficult to kill. And then as you get closer to its level, it gets easier. But then once you're over it, there's no real advantage to being over leveled. It balances and scales everything accordingly, so that you're not just waltzing around one shot in everything. For the most part. So I see what they've tried to do, but it just hasn't worked at all. Clearly.
So then also, it turned out today, just before we started recording, there was this story that some players are talking about boycotting the game because of this patch, because of the changes that have been made to the loot system. They're not happy.
Christ.
So yeah, people are talking about just not playing it. So that's
Amazing.
But then also they had BioWare have said that they're over the next couple of months they're planning to make significant changes to the game.
I'll bet they are.
Yeah. It's not been a resounding.
But again, they would have done it anyway. And but I would love to know numbers. I would love to know numbers of people actually playing this thing.
Yeah, there's nothing. Of course, it's not on Steam, is it? It's just on Origin, so there's no figures.
Yeah, shame.
Okay, next one is that PS4 Remote Play is now available on iOS.
Yes,
is
here
it on
we
Android
go.
as well?
I'm going to get my DualShock. I'm going to play games on the... What?
Yeah. Is it on Android as well, Sean?
Nope.
Do you know?
I checked.
Okay. So it was already on Sony's Xperia Z3 series, but now it's come to iOS, and this was with firmware update 6.50, for the thing. But obviously you can't use DualShock controllers because you can't connect those to an iPhone.
Oh,
Yeah, I mean you can do the same trick as you could with RPlay, where you can log in with another another user's thing and then use that instead, and that does work. But yeah, I mean the default way with this though is to use these dreadful on-screen controls and then experience lag and lots of controller lag, and it doesn't seem to support MFI controllers, which what's called the RPlay does. So I don't know.
Oh, it doesn't support them.
I don't believe so. No. I'd be happy for someone to correct me, but it didn't say that it did, so I'm assuming it doesn't, which is a shame. But then also, I mean, I was just shocked at how it's not very good. Compared with, I mean, I shouldn't be shocked because although Sony have done a really good job, I think, in promoting this idea of remote play, the execution's been pretty crap, to be honest, and the third party stuff's been better, significantly better. RPlay. The unofficial one, you press connect and it instantly connects, and also you don't get lag and all that sort of thing to anywhere near the same degree. With this, it still takes a while to connect, and it's just not very good. It's just the lag is insane. If you're trying to use the on-screen keyboard, I mean, I tried to play a bit of Destiny with it, and it's just completely impossible.
I mean, you can still do the same thing you did with a second user, can't you?
You can do that, yeah. You could do that, but then it would still. I mean, okay, this is free, but then if you want to have a more comfortable experience, I'd still say that the unofficial app's better. It just works a lot better than the
A shame. Yeah, it's frustrating because so on Android, obviously because Sony make their own phones, they've limited it to that. And I tried just downloading an APK for the Remote Play app, and it's still, I forget exactly at which point it refused to work, but it knew it wasn't on a Sony device, so it just kicked off and wouldn't work. As far as I'm aware, there's no way around it, but Yeah, I guess they just want to keep that as a USP for their phones, because Lord knows I've never seen anyone using one.
I was going to say, I mean, just get over that. Just put it on everything, surely. But it's a shame we can't pair regular pads to this yet, and the day you will, it'll be brilliant. But it's cool they're making some sort of changes, even if it's very, very small.
Yeah.
I mean, this also feels like a bit like, Vita's dead. This is what we've got left. That we got from that is this
on-screen keyboards.
That's it, really. Yeah, it's a shame.
It makes you wonder how far Microsoft must be off this. They must have this working internally, because obviously they're...
Well, you can already do it. Like, again, with unofficial apps, you can already do this.
Okay.
Like, with Xbox. Yeah. There's one very similar to our Play that streams Xbox games. And you can also stream Xbox games to Mac as well, like, using it.
I have seen this advert keep popping up on Facebook or other social things all the time, actually. Okay, well, what's that one called, do you know?
Oh, I've forgotten the name.
Is it like Xcast or something? Because I keep saying that everywhere.
Yeah, something like that. But it's So it's really possible to do all these things. It's just they just don't want to, for like various reasons or whatever. It's I don't know. It's irritating.
But if you can like stream your Xbox to your Mac, and you can also use your Xbox pad on your Mac, that sounds like a portable Xbox to me.
Well, yeah, but you can. Yeah, could you connect the Xbox pad directly to your Mac?
Yeah. You just plug it in for USB these days.
Yeah, okay. Because you can do that with the DualShock as well. Yeah. So that works with like.
I play most of my Steam games using DualShock actually.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But no, it's. I mean, all these things are good. I mean, any way that you can play like games from other places, I'm massively in favour of that, because I've played loads of games that way, because often the TV's not free and all that kind of thing. It's just a shame that this doesn't really work with mobile devices so well because of the controller problem. It's
because we mentioned before, but I definitely used my Vita to do some patrol missions on Destiny 1, and it worked. I mean, it wasn't amazing, but it was good enough for sure. This actually feels like it's not quite good enough with the on-screen keyboard.
Yeah,
yeah.
This is what's so annoying about the Vita. It was such a fantastic machine, really. It's just the control inputs were just so wrong. That was the main problem with that machine. If it had better triggers, and if it hadn't have had back touch, that could have been a much better remote play device than it was.
Totally. Yeah, if it just had the second set of triggers,
you'd be all set. I'd still be using it all the time, but instead it's it's just terrible. Especially when it tries. The worst thing is when they tried to use like the back touch for like R2 and L2 and stuff, and it's
work.
like, where is it? It's like, and then in the end, I always ended up like scrunching my fingers up so I didn't accidentally touch it. And it's like, what? This is the worst. It's just terrible. But yeah. Anyway, next story.
I was just going to say, sorry, quickly. So I'm just having a look on the Google Play Store. There is an unofficial PlayStation Remote Play app, but it has to go via your PC. So I guess
that's weird.
Yeah, because I know you can do Remote Play to your PC, and I guess it just does that and then streams that to your phone. But I mean, that'll just be horrible.
Yeah.
Although it has reminded me that I've got Steam Link on my phone and I've never tried it. I probably should, because that'd be really good.
It's always stuff like that that's weird. I mean, I remember seeing there was somebody had got this system together so that you could use iMessage on Android.
Oh yeah,
right. But the way it worked was that you had to sign in with your like iMessage, like your Apple ID and everything, on somebody's remote PC somewhere, and then all your messages were routed through that and then sort of forwarded to you. It's just incredibly dodgy.
Totally worth it.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, not so good.
Yeah.
Okay, next story. EA are skipping E3, they're not skipping E3, but they're not having a press conference this year. There's still going to be like their pre-E3 like EA Play event, and with live streams focusing on specific games. But there's not going to be like the press conference,
which is basically they're just taking the Nintendo approach.
Kind of, yeah. But with more live streams, I think. I mean, there's going to be more like live streaming celebrities and stuff like that, isn't there?
But I don't know if it is a Nintendo approach, because they're not saying they're doing like an online press conference. They're not doing one at all.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, okay. I'm just reading. Yeah. So instead, EA will once again put on its annual pre-E3 fan event, EA Play. Okay. Yeah, that's not the same thing.
Yeah.
Is
I mean, it'd be great if they were just doing like a pre-recorded press conference, but no, it's just literally they're going to have loads of people, probably not influencers this year, given last year's debacle, but probably loads of people playing and streaming games. Then you can just like can watch on Twitch about the games being played, and I guess that's fine.
That is kind of shit then, because I'd read this as like, oh, there's still a presentation, but they're just not physically there. But no, that's not it, is it?
No, I think
a shame.
It's a shame.
It's a bit rubbish, isn't it? Because you'd just be thinking. I mean, the thing with the presentations is the EA ones were always generally dire. Like, they were never that great, were they? They were always like, there was always like a couple of good bits, and then there'd be something incredibly embarrassing, which was always funny. I mean, you remember the Command & Conquer Rivals stuff from last year?
Oh god, yeah.
I mean, that was
long, wasn't it? I mean, and obviously, as someone who's not into sports, they often drag that stuff out, and I totally get it. Like obviously, like FIFA and Madden and everything are fucking huge, and I understand why they do it, but it's just not for me.
But what they did, those presentations though, is it still like helped to like focus on like what the games were, and like give some sort of like quick sort of steer about what they were going to be.
Yeah.
With this live streaming approach, I can't see how that's going to work in quite the same way. I mean, it would be like, we've got like a new game coming up at like 9 o'clock or whatever. Check out Ninja playing this or whatever. I don't know who's famous now, Matt. I don't know.
I mean, it's not really Ninja. I mean, influencers are dead, James. Don't you know?
No,
influencers. You read that thing I did, but influencers aren't working anymore, so they'll probably just go back to basics. I guess it's a shame. It's a real shame. I mean, this is also the last couple of years has been like the start of E3, isn't it? This is what's kicked it off.
Yeah, they usually were the first. Yeah,
and now it's like yet another company not doing an E3 press conference. First Sony, now EA. I mean, are we going to get any more dropping out before June? That's my worry.
I mean, I do wonder if they've just had enough offers from like Microsoft and Sony to show their stuff off. Therefore, why bother having their own show? I mean, we all saw what happened with Square Enix last year, where it was like they had their own show, and everyone's like, "Oh, okay, I wonder what they'll show," because we already saw a bunch of Square Enix stuff at Microsoft conference.
They showed Kingdom Hearts 3 quite a few times.
They did, and it was just all the exact same stuff again.
Wait, it's the stuff you've seen, or they're going to say like, "See more at tomorrow's Xbox showing," or whatever it was.
Yeah. So that was weird.
It is a shame though, because it just feels like now all that's left is Microsoft, and that's it. Like no one,
I mean, Nintendo will do something.
There's Ubisoft.
Yeah. There is Ubisoft. Ubisoft usually put on a decent show.
There's Ubisoft. There's going to be the Devolver show. There's going to be the PC gaming show.
No, you see, you're laughing, but I'm the one that's missing it this year, and so you're going to have to watch it and come up with, like, because I'll be quite interested, and B, it's probably a good place for you to come up with some decent lies about indie games and stuff. So,
Sean,
I tell you what, Matt, the other day I was thinking about this, and I was thinking, what are we going to do for like lies and stuff like that? And I thought maybe we could just say that actually this whole thing wasn't true, and actually Sony put on a massive show, and like this.
Or just like I come back to the internet, and you're like, right, Sean, we've got to tell you something. There was an explosion at the centre.
Oh my God, no. No, I didn't think you were going to go there, Sean.
No, that's maybe a bit extreme.
Wow.
But yeah, sorry, there was no E3 this year. Oh no, maybe tone it down a bit. Just something, I don't know. I'm trying to think of another reason that would completely shut E3 down that isn't
something
like a major atrocity.
Far.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Down.
It fucking stinks anyway. No one would even notice. That's the safest place in the world to do a fart.
But this all makes me sad. Like E3 as we know it is changing. I know it has to change potentially, with like the audience and new like habits and stuff. But I mean, if Sony got not happening this year, now E3 like now EA, like, are we going to have more? Is Ubisoft going to pull out?
I don't think this is the end at all. I think this is just part of the cycle, because we've had this before, like where E3's gone rubbish and like nobody's turned up and all that kind of thing. Yeah. Then a couple of years later, it's turned out to be bigger again. And I think it's just because we're at the end of this cycle. And
but everyone has turned up before. It's just been rubbish. But I think if they don't turn up, they're probably like, hang on, we've saved so much money. Like I think they're like, now it's going to be a much bigger. They're going to need a much bigger reason to come back. Like Sony probably will anyway, because that's it. But I mean, obviously they've all got the money to do it, but they're all also going to save a shitload of money this year by not doing a big press conference. Although to be fair, EA is still going to be there, so it's not like they're saving loads of money because they're not going at all. I don't know. It feels like a shame.
But in EA's case, this is really about what's the incentive to do a press conference? Everyone just ridicules it anyway, and something always goes wrong. It always looks bad. It's like, why put yourself through that? I mean, that's why it was always seemed more sensible to like do the Nintendo approach of just put out a direct 25 minutes of Super Smash Bros.
Well, this is it, like, because I said last year, like, unless you can come up with a convincing like reason as to why it's worth being there in person. Like, what can you give people by doing a physical, actual conference while you are there, rather than just streaming something on the internet where everyone, like most people are going to watch it anyway? Like, if you can't answer that question, then why not just do your own online thing, but in your own time? Like, you know. So I get it. It's a shame, but I get it.
Do you think we'll have anyone else pull out before E3 happens?
Nah, Microsoft will still be there. They'll still have all their Xbox employees in the what's it called, in the auditorium, all whooping at everything. It's
Sea of Thieves. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
it'll be Crackdown 3. They'll be chanting Crackdown 3. It'll be all the Crackdown 3 super fans showing up.
There'll be a chant of Game Pass, Game Pass.
Look, if they said you can go there, you have to chant Game Pass, I would do it.
Of course you would. You'd do that without even having to go.
Sitting in your living room.
That's what I devastated last year to not do that in my house. Didn't feel the same 2 days after.
Matt just sitting in his living room at 2 a.m, ripping his fucking shirt off because we're all chanting Game Pass on the
Game Pass, Game Pass. Oh, I hope E3 is good this year.
I love cheap, average games.
Hey, what Just Cause? Oh no, you're right. Yeah, it's a shame. Hopefully it'll be alright. I'm sure EA will survive. But will E3?
They'll be alright. Yeah.
Okay, last story I've got for this week is Google's controller patent. So this was funny because this obviously got revealed so the controller that we've all seen online is obviously just a patent design specification, so it's not the real thing.
Yeah, everyone's kicking off. Good thing. I mean, it's quite funny.
Because it looks horrendous, doesn't it? I mean, it looks like the worst piece of like Mad Catz kind of thing from like the early 2000s or whatever. It looks like really dreadful. But I mean, it's believed that we're going to know more at GDC this month about what this controller is. But the only concrete details there are is that there's like this controller notification system that signals when the player gets like a chat request or an invitation or leaderboard changes or whatever, or where there's a game available. But then I also read today, just before we start recording, that it'll work so that like part of the login details and stuff will be stored in this as well, so it'll like simplify logging into stuff and make things quicker and that kind of stuff. But the controller itself looks horrendous.
It does.
From that. The D-pad in particular was just
It's just weird because I know everyone says like, look, these patents are just for function, not form. But I'm a bit like looking at it. It's like, well, what is the patent for then? Because it just looks like a controller with
I mean, we all know what it's going to be anyway. It's going to be like a variation on an Xbox 360 controller, isn't it?
Yeah,
like really is what it'll be.
Why change that? Yeah,
because that was the best.
I'm concerned.
I still think that's.
I'm concerned that so all the like the middle buttons, the one with the little microphone button and the sort of central Google button, and then there's like the menu button and the home button and stuff. They all have like icons on them, but there's nothing on just the regular face buttons. So in that mock-up. Whoever did it decided that they'll just be like red, green, blue, whatever.
Yeah.
But if you've got sight problems, that's not going to work, is it? Like if you're colorblind, that's really going to suck. So I hope there are some sort of icon. I was going to say,
like this is just like I get the impression that all the mock-ups have just been done from this like black and white.
Yeah,
drawing. So I would like to think that there's going to be like ABXY or whatever there's going to be on the Google one. But I mean, when I first saw it, I was like, oh my god, is this real? And like obviously someone when they mocked it up, they also put like the Google font on it, and it made it look like it's like a real announcement sort of shot. And I was like,
well, because it is a really good mock-up. Like, it's really convincing, and like you say that the sort of text they put above it and stuff.
I was really thankful when I heard that it's just designs based on the 2014 patent. So. Yeah, I mean, like GDC is like 2 weeks away, so
I saw it and I was like, I'm no longer worried about Google entering gaming because this is going to be awful from this. But but then it can't be that bad. It surely will be better.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
we'll see. When is
16th,
GDC? So 18th of March. So that's 18th, less than a week away. Yeah, cool.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what they do. I mean, only because it's like another player in space. I don't hold much confidence that they're going to smash it, but someone new and. It'd be interesting to see what they do.
Exactly, and even if whatever they do isn't perfect, but it gives other console manufacturers or whatever a bit of a nudge as to what is possible, that'll be interesting. I mean, obviously Google do have form for just binning things they don't think are working,
or things that are working,
or things that are
Google
working.
Reader.
Yeah.
It's Still mourn that every day.
Yeah, but the control notification thing just totally reminds it. Like, yeah, you get a notification when you get a chat request, invitation, leaderboard changes. That one. It reminds me a lot of the Wii, where it used to glow blue. You know, when you had like an update or something new, but.
Which was cool as fuck, to be fair.
Yeah, it was cool. Yeah. Although if you had it in your bedroom, which I did at a time, it like really lit up the entire room. It was incredibly bright. But like this, it sounds really old school. Like chat requests, leaderboard changes. It's like what?
Yeah, that sounds like Xbox 360 days stuff,
really
doesn't
is.
it?
Like if someone's like talking shit at you, you can hit the notification button and give them some shit back. It sounds really, really old school. That does.
Yeah, doesn't it? And I think, maybe if you're younger, that sort of constantly connected stuff is really cool. But when you're our age, like everything you do online is generally like pre-arranged or whatever. I don't need to know when my friends are online or whatever because I know if they're online and I want to play with them because we've already decided we're going to do it. You know.
I mean, like the options here, like chat requests, invitation, leaderboard changes, or games available. Like for a lot of people, that I like will be permanently on. It's like, games downloaded. I play maybe 5 games a week. Oh, and loads of leaderboards that's constantly on. I've got a chat invite. It's like turn the light off. I don't know.
Well, yeah, because I'm like that with my phone now. I've got notifications disabled for all sorts now. Just I'm fucking sick of the thing flashing at me. So
anyway, this time next week. Well, actually, I guess. No, it'd be a week on Tuesday. Probably when we hear about it. But yeah, I'm excited to see what the actual reality is going to look like.
Yeah,
and that's it. That's the end of the news.
Right, what have we been playing? Who went first last time? I can't remember. Does it matter? Does it don't care?
It doesn't matter. Just choose one.
Okay. James and I have both been playing Destiny 2, but in different ways. So I've been on it a lot because the season of the Drifter has begun. So this is
it started, has it? Good.
Yeah. So this is the second bit of this year's sort of annual pass content. First one being the season of the Forge, which was fine, but I was really excited about this because it's all focused around Gambit, which is my favourite game mode. It's honestly I can't believe more people don't talk about it because I think it's fucking inspired. Like, it's such a smart game mode. For those who aren't aware, this is the one where it's sort of mostly PvE, so it's 2 teams, but you're mostly fighting just, regular sort of, computer-controlled enemies or whatever. They drop these little items called Motes of Dark, which is called them motes. You pick them up, and then you have to run back. You have, a bank that's in your base. And you have to dunk them, and then every time you do that, the more you bank, it's it sends bigger enemies over to the other team that they have to deal with before they can continue banking stuff. So it's this sort of really interesting sort of back and forth, sort of trying to kill as much and as quickly as you can, bank the moats, send enemies over to the other side to disrupt the other team, and then once you've banked a certain amount of moats, you then summon a boss, which you then kill, and then you win the round. But also, at set points, you can invade each other. So you can send a player over to the other team to try and kill them and, again, sort of disrupt them further. It's fucking brilliant. I absolutely love it. And yeah, so this new expansion sort of focuses on that mode. So it introduces a new version of it called Gambit Prime, which is, mostly the same, but... a few key differences. It's only one round, it's one really long round into usually Gambit's best of 3. The key difference is now when the boss is summoned at the end, it's there's these other sort of enemies called envoys that appear who are quite tough, and you have to kill a number of those, and then where the last one died creates this aura of light or whatever, and you all have to stand in that and then shoot the shit out of the boss. You can't damage it any other way. So it's kind of the sort of things we're used to seeing from the raids and stuff.
I was going to say, it sounds really raidy, yeah.
Yeah, and it's really cool and really good fun. Where it gets weird is they've added all these armor sets that sort of... There's 4 different ones, and they denote sort of different styles of play. So there's the Invader, which is all about, obviously invading the other team, as that's really sort of PvP focused. There's the Collector, which is all about collecting and banking the moats. There's the Sentry, which is all about hanging out near the bank and killing anything that comes in, or invaders from the other team. And then there's the Reaper, which is all just about killing enemies as quickly as possible. And there's an armor set for each. It is the same armor set for each one, but it's just got different colours on it, which is a bit
really?
shit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, a bit disappointing.
In my mind, when you said that, I thought, are they creating almost like a subclass for each class?
Well,
based on how you play,
but they
based on how you play the game mode.
But like visually, they're the same. Sorry, is what I meant. Different colours, but they unlock different abilities depending on. I think they've been playing Monster Hunter because it's basically the armor skill system from Monster Hunter. So like each bit of gear you equip. So like if you equip like a bit of collector gear, it might give you like +1 or +2 collector points. And then as you pass certain thresholds, so like 3 and then 6 and then 9, it gives you like more abilities for that class, if you will.
Okay. Yeah, and can you mix and match this armor set so you can have a bit of collector?
That's the thing. I don't know if people are gonna like figure out like decent mixed sets and stuff. I think that would be really interesting. But obviously, like the abilities most worth having are like the final ones. So I don't know. Yeah, it would be interesting to see if that happens.
Yeah, I guess if you add bits from all of them, you might just be like, it might not be important enough because you just like create a bit of a mismatch.
Jack of all trades.
If you specialise, that's really going to help you for your role. If you stick to that role within Gambit Prime.
Yeah, I mean, conversely, like if you're just playing with randoms, there's no guarantee you're going to end up with a balanced team. So, like if you like fully specialize in one thing, you might end up with 3 other people who've also fully specialized in that same playstyle. So, don't really know how that's going to shake out long term. That'll be interesting. But like, obviously, among the people I'm playing regularly with, we've all decided like what armor sets we want and stuff. So that should work out.
Awesome.
But yeah, it's really interesting the way it works. So to get these armor pieces, you have to play Gambit Prime, and then there's bounties you can pick up, which are just like little missions, which there's like a set objective. So they'll like every day there'll be a Reaper one, a Sentry one, a Collector one, and an Invader one, which get you synths. So for example, I'm trying to be a Reaper. So I'm going for all the Reaper stuff. So I'll take the Reaper bounty, which would be like, kill umpteen enemies or whatever. And then I'll get Reaper synths, which are these like disposable items, which then you can either like, you can just consume one to just like raise your, what's the term after? The sort of the skill number that you get from the armor. So, like, say I had like a couple of Reaper bits that only got me to +2. I can like consume a Reaper synth, and then it gives me like +3. So that'll put me over the threshold, give me an extra Reaper skill. Or you can then go into this other new mode called Reckoning, which is this like, it's in this really weird area. Anyone who played Trials of the Nine in the first year of Destiny 2, it's in a similar sort of space. It's basically like, it's one of these weird Destiny things where it's like, oh, it's like in a fucking, like, it's in this ball that the Drifter drags behind his ship. It's
I saw that in the trailer, yeah.
Yeah, and you go in there and it transports you to this weird, like, impossible space where it's like all these sort of mad geometric shapes everywhere and stuff, and it's really cool. It's really beautiful. And basically, yeah, that's just like this really hard mode where you and a team of 3 other people just have to kill fuckloads of enemies as quickly as possible, like against a time limit. And you basically, so you at the start of a round of that, you like bet one of your synths, and then if you pass, then you get a piece of armor for that class. It took, as you can imagine, it took us a while to figure this out because it doesn't, like, it sort of explains it, but not particularly well. If you fail, you get the synth back, which is weird because they always talk about, you have to gamble your items to get the armor pieces. Like, well, it's not really gambling if losing just gives you your thing back, but whatever. But yeah, basically, overall, it's this really nice little loop of like, right, play a bit Gambit Prime, get the synths together, take them into Reckoning, get some armor pieces, go back to Gambit Prime now that you got those armor pieces and you got some skills and stuff, and just like keep sort of flowing back and forth between the two, and obviously picking up new guns and stuff on the way. There's like, they've added loads of new guns with like new perks and stuff in them. And it is properly good fun. There's also like interesting lore stuff, which I think I mentioned before. I sort of like in Destiny. I'm not like I'm not too bothered about the story, but they're sort of introducing this whole thing of like, when they first added Gambit, the guy that runs it, who's called the Drifter, he's like the worst character ever.
Yeah, he's like a really cocky, like, hey, yeah. I'm from the wrong side of the tracks, yeah.
Well, this is the thing, right? So they're sort of leaning into that, and it's sort of good. Like,
is he actually from the wrong side of the tracks?
He's actually from the wrong side of the tracks. So they are like implying that like he's sort of an actual villain. Like you start as you play Gambit Prime, you get in these messages from someone from the Vanguard who are the like let's protect humanity, the good guys, and they're like, look, we think he's a proper fucking wrong'un. Like, like we can't prove it, so we can't just kick him out, but we think he might really be up to something really bad. And apparently, I forget when it goes live, I think it might be tomorrow, they're adding a quest where like you have to pick a side, like between the Vanguard and the Drifter. But where it all sort of falls down is that obviously it's like, oh, Gambit Prime is bad and the Drifter's bad, and you're not sure if you should be doing it or not. It's like, yeah, but that's the expansion. That's the new game mode in the expansion. So you're not going to give me a meaningful choice between the Gambit and the Drifter, Gambit and the Drifter. Sorry, the Vanguard and the Drifter, because the Drifter's thing is the new stuff that you've added. So it's not going to be like, oh, well, you side with the Vanguard and now you can't play Gambit anymore.
No, you can't play any of that stuff we added.
Yeah, so like it's interesting what they've done, and like sowing all these seeds. Like so now, like when you talk to the Drifter and he's kind of being a bit smarmy and annoying, you are like, oh yeah, this is what it's like to like have to be nice to someone you hate. Like it's because I want to play his game mode and I want the stuff from it, but I fucking hate him. And he kind of like plays on it as well. Like occasionally he sort of makes jokes about like, oh, we're having a little tiff or whatever. No, fuck off. I think you might actually be evil, but I can't do anything about it.
Because I want to play the game.
Because your game mode's just so good.
Exactly. And it's like, and it's cool the way it does it. Like, so the way the like this person from the Vanguard is like sending you these messages, they are like, look, I know you're playing Gambit with good intentions because you get like, more powerful stuff out of it that basically allows you to be a better Guardian. But it's like, but you don't realise it is like, it doesn't achieve anything. It's just for its own sake. And it's like, and here's all the things we're not doing as a result of all the Guardians being obsessed with Gambit now. Which is an interesting way. Like, obviously, it's a video game, so it's all nonsense. But to sort of be like, no.
That's still pretty cool, though.
Yeah, it's like there are some things in this world that serve a purpose. And this is a game within a game. Like, it is just for its own amusement, So I like the fact they've sort of used that and sort of pulled that into the story a bit. So yeah, I'm enjoying it. It's good. And they're still sort of drip feeding stuff in, so they're adding more Gambit Prime maps over the next couple of weeks. Like I say, they're adding this story mission tomorrow that apparently you pick a side, although what difference that makes, I've no idea. It'll probably just like affect what loot you get or something. I don't think it's really going to change anything.
But once you select that side, is that it then? You can't...
It's per character, yeah.
Okay, right.
So if you want to start a new character and try the other route, you can. Again, can't see it making enough difference for people to do that. It'll probably be like, oh, if you pick the Vanguard, they'll just be like, okay, but carry on playing Gambit as like an insider. You're like a spy for us or something. It'll be something wank like that. But yeah, really enjoying it. Like it's very different from like when Season of the Forge started, and it was like, well, it's pretty good, but you have to be like the maximum light level to even bother trying. This is a lot more accessible, and they've added a bunch of stuff that if you have a character that's not up to speed, there's like, basically you can go to the Drifter and he's got like 4 quite easy bounties that will give you a load of items that get you to a decent light level, power level, whatever it is. So that's cool. Yeah, I like it. I'm still playing loads of Destiny 2.
How much is the season pass?
Is it 20, 30 quid? I can't remember. Cool. I realised that's quite a jump because 20 is quite good and 30 is not so much. I think it is probably 30. But yeah. I mean, James, how are you getting on with it?
Well, so I'm not playing that mode. I mean, I've been still playing quite a lot of this because I played Warmind and finished that.
Yeah.
And that was all right. Mm-hmm. It was fine, and I finished that, and I was still really enjoying myself with it. And then I thought, okay, well, I'm going to just start playing Forsaken, which I started over this weekend.
Yep.
And I've now hit the level cap, and I've got my power level up to 499,
mm-hmm.
and it's just these damn trousers. I need some trip trousers, Sean. Some like 500 trousers, and then I'm up to 500. It's just the only thing I'm missing, and then that's going to happen. But Forsaken is, wow. It's like a real step up from the other DLCs. Like, it's. I mean, the first mission of that, I was saying to you like earlier on, it's just like I haven't felt like that playing like a game from Bungie or whatever since like Halo. Like good, like it feels so good. Like the first mission, and there was one moment. I mean, the opening level is just incredible, and I just feel you feel so powerful like as you're playing through that, and like there was this moment where I was going down one of the like, you know, it like opens out into like a big open expanse. There's a massive battle going on, and I was like, there's just chaos. And then I was using my sniper rifle, which I've got, which is amazing, and just like taking people out in the distance. But then I got like attacked from the side by something, and I like pulled out my hand cannon and just like blew the guy's head off. And I was just like, this is amazing. This is like this is so like so good. Like the way this is going, and it's just, I mean, the thing about this, I mean, what I've liked so far about Forsaken, I mean, I'm only a couple of missions in, but the campaign this time seems a lot more varied than the last ones. Like the last ones were really basic, just like this mission, then this mission, then this mission. But this one, it feels like they're trying to show people that maybe like bounced off Destiny 2 like before what's available to do. Yeah, because you know, like you have to like quite early in, you have to start like sort of doing like all the things like doing bounties and like showing patrols and stuff like that. And they sort of show you how to do that through the story, and it does feel like they're trying to show you, look, there's all this content here. Yeah. Like this is all the stuff that you can do, but it fits in like well with the story and everything. I mean, the story, I can't say I'm like really into it, but it does feel like kind of suitably epic and all that kind of thing, which is kind of good. And it's just the rewards just don't stop, do they? Yeah. I mean, that's the thing about it, is every single time you see, I'd said this before, and I don't know, the thing is, right, I don't really care about loot in games. I said this before. Turns out I was wrong, because I really do care about it in Destiny, because there's just that thrill, isn't there, when something appears. You know, when there's like one of those blue like or purple like ones just appears, and you're just like, wonder what's in that. And then it's like, is it going to be something good? Is it going to be my trousers? And often it still hasn't been. But it's just, the sort of the reward structure, I think, in this is fantastic. And it just feels like, I mean, obviously, like Bungie have been doing this for how long now? Like, how long's Destiny? When did that start? It was like 2000.
God, when was Destiny 1? Was it 2014?
I don't know.
Maybe Matt, 15.
When was Destiny 1?
I'm checking here. It says here 2014, yeah.
Okay,
so 2014. So they've had like 5 years or so, and it just feels like they really have learned, like over that period, what works with this kind of game. Yeah. And it just feels kind of perfect to me. Like, and I'm just so enjoying, like, every time just logging in and just thinking, okay, what are my milestones? What can I look at, to do this time? And it's just so much fun, like, to play through, and the combat still feels amazing. It's I mean, I was saying over the weekends, I feel annoyed with myself as well that I didn't get into this earlier. I mean, with Destiny, I never really got into that in the beginning, because when it came out, I wasn't in the UK at that time, and so I kind of missed like the boat with it. And then when I tried it, I couldn't really see what the fuss was about. Destiny 2, I really liked the campaign, like when I first played it. And but then for some reason, I've really hit this hard now, and it feels like exactly the kind of game that I want to play. Because you see, I'm not really into like battle royale games at all. I don't really care about them that much. But this is exactly what I've always wanted. Like the idea of you've got like this ever evolving kind of like story. You have, I mean, the lore I'm not really too bothered about, but it just, I don't know, it feels meaningful to me, and that's kind of why I like it. It's great. It is really, really good. I mean, Matt, you're getting back into it, aren't you, Matt? Is this the plan?
I am, yeah. So Elodie and Jill were out a bit over the weekend, and I thought I'd play Destiny. Actually, I tried to play Destiny the weekend before, maybe, and I thought, okay, well, I had like half an hour spare. I'll go to play it, but there was like a 40 gig download because I haven't turned the game on in years. So I didn't play on that day. And then even this Sunday, I was like, I'll play Destiny, and there's like another like massive download. But eventually, I got through that, and I thought, I'll turn on Destiny 2 again. I had that and I loved it at launch, and I checked my stats. I played for like 40 or 50 hours, but I just stopped after. I did the campaign, played for like 6 weeks in total, and then stopped really. But I thought, obviously you guys have been talking about it, and there's been more discussion about Destiny recently, I guess, even with like the Anthem thing and more games like this, and also this season of the Drifter coming out. So I thought I'd give it a go. And I played for about an hour and a half. But what I quickly realised on Sunday morning was that it felt pretty pointless without the DLC.
Really?
I was wandering around, and I'm still like only like level 20 and like level 200 from way back when, and I was just like, it felt like there was an awful lot to get my head around, and also it felt like when I was getting drops, none of them really meant anything. There wasn't really many missions I could do that I hadn't really done before, and yeah. I mean, is that the case, or is that just me not knowing where to go, Sean? Do you know?
I honestly don't know, because it's I
think it does take, like, for me, because when I came to it, like, there was just a lot of things suddenly that I'd like all popped up to do, because I hadn't played it since the Destiny 2, like the original campaign, and it took me a while to sort of get my head around, like, okay, this is where I should go next and what I should do next, because there's just so much there, like, that there's, like, you know, options of things to do.
Yeah, so I did that, and I thought, well, this isn't really good enough. And then I was talking to you, James, and we're talking to WhatsApp group, and I was like, well, yeah, I mean, it's good, but it feels pretty pointless about the DLC. And you're like, well, I got it for like 18 quid. And I was like, oh, that's a pretty good price. And I went on PSN, and it was 18 quid.
Holy shit.
I bought Forsaken.
Good man.
Yes.
Absolutely worth it.
You realise we are going to stream the first raid, right?
Yes, I mean, once I'm there, absolutely, yeah, absolutely. But I mean, there was a bit of a thrill inside me, just like, oh, I've got the new Destiny DLC, because I was so heavily into D1. I was, it's only 400 hours. I know it's pretty lenient by most people, by the hardcore standards, but at the time, that was all I wanted to do. You know, I was playing all hours of the day. It doesn't matter if I was playing my own, I was still like collecting resources, or like I was on at 2 o'clock in the morning, and so was Sean, and we help each other out on a strike or whatever. It was constant. I was listening to a podcast. I was just obsessed with that game, and even it's like, oh, getting a new DLC and like loading up. I mean, I've talked about this before, but I imagine it's more like an alcoholic might be if they smell a bit of whiskey, or like someone who hasn't smoked a cigarette for ages smells someone smoking walking past them. I'm like, oh, I hear the old sound, and it's, you know, I got a bit of a twitch, and it was really good. So I've only played the first 2 missions or so from Curse of Osiris. Is that what it's called?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so that's basically the first DLC pack in. So what have I actually bought? I bought Forsaken. What's that?
You get
get
that.
Yeah.
Well, you get that, and then all the previous DLCs as well. So there's like the Curse of Osiris and Warmind, and
so have I bought year 2 deal? What exactly have I bought exactly? It's like the year.
So Forsaken was like the start of year 2.
Okay.
And that was like a whole campaign, like redesigned the loot system and a bunch of other stuff. So yeah, and since then, we've had the Season of the Forge and Season of the Drifter, which are part of the year 2 path.
So we are still technically in year 2. So I've bought the most. Okay, cool. Okay, I wasn't.
But you still need the pass for the Forge and the Drifter.
That's what I was asking about the price.
But I mean, you know, for the stuff you're doing now, like, don't worry about it. Like,
I feel like I've got lots to do.
Again, exactly.
I mean, I played like 40 plus hours of Destiny 2, but even logging back in, I'm like, but where do I go? There's like so many things on the map. It wasn't instantly clear about where I went to even get like the story campaign stuff, but I clicked on enough icons and found my way around. And yeah, I'm gonna keep playing it. Like with the pack I've got, you do get like an item whereby you can quickly move one of your characters up to like a really high level, like I guess level 30.
I think that's so that's basically where you should be to start the Forsaken stuff.
Yeah. So I can't get to one of the social areas because I'm not level 30, and I'm going to stick with my original D2 player. I've got Hunter, and I'm going to go through all the DLC and work up to that. So you've done all the DLC, James. So you're level 50. Is that what level you are now?
Yeah, I'm at level 50,
okay,
but
cool.
Yeah, I'm at 499, so I'm still.
So I'm going to save that chip for my second character. I'll probably do a Titan or something. But yeah, cool. I'm excited to get back into Destiny. I mean, obviously, the Division 2's out this Friday. I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to get. And also, I was just a bit sort of like annoyed because, James, you're going to get on Xbox. Sean, you haven't got on Xbox. Yeah. I would like to get on Xbox, but then like I would like it if we could all play together. It's just like the whole like different console thing sort of did my head in. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to get Destiny. It's 18 quid. If I can get Division 2, I'll certainly give it a good go, but I'm like 18 quid, and also the offer was running out a day after I bought it, so...
fair dues.
And I've just really missed playing the same game over and over. You know, and yes, I know my streams have dragged on for Resident Evil 2, so you might feel like that to some people, but I just like, you know, I just thought, I try to play out new things every week for the podcast stuff, but actually I just wanted to get back into just playing a game I love playing, and
it's nice to just have that fallback for those evenings where you're like, look, I've got 2 hours, I don't actually know what I want to play, so just having that default setting of like, Destiny 2 is that.
I'm really looking forward to that. I've been a bit all over the place with games recently, and I'm like, I just want something I can fall back into, and like I said, even just going on the menu and hearing the music, I'm like, it just feels like coming home. Feels good.
Oh man, I've just seen the annual pass is on sale at the moment.
Is it? How much is it?
It's $19.99.
Ooh. Okay, so annual pass. So when does that technically run out then? I don't mean the offer. I mean like annual. What is that? Calendar year? Is that from season 2 onwards? Like how far are we into season 2?
December. It's until August 2019. So
right, okay.
So that's when the last. It's the season of opulence.
And how many
or
more
something.
packs? How many more like? Sorry, this season of Drifter. So. I'll be so we're classing it as a season, right? I'm a bit confused about years and seasons. I know we're like years.
So basically, within year 2. So year 2 started with the release of Forsaken. So you can buy Forsaken, and then it was like I think it was like 3 months into that they were like, right, here's Season of the Forge. You have to buy the expansion pass to access it, and then it also will give you access to Season of the Drifter and Season of Opulence when that starts. So I think they're like 3 months apart.
Right. Okay.
So and then I don't know if there's another big expansion at the end of or the start of year 3, or if that's just a bit of downtime and then we go into Destiny 3. I'm not sure, but we'll see, I guess.
Mm-hmm. But I guess that 20 quid's tempting. But I've got a lot still to play ahead of me. So how long were like Curse of Osiris and Warmind? Are they like 5-hour experiences or
a bit longer than that?
Okay.
I mean, I think I played both. I mean, this has taken me about maybe 3 weeks, I think, maybe of like, I wouldn't say solid play, but like especially over the weekends, I play quite a lot to get up to like max level and everything. I mean, as Sean says, you can skip all of that, but I just really wanted to try it all, really, so I didn't.
I mean, what's interesting and kind of a shame, but then good that they gave you those expansion passes essentially for free, is. Like, sort of the Curse of Osiris and the Warmind DLC. Okay, so they had the campaign bit. So like, here's some story missions, and you work through those. And then of course they each had like some like sort of end gamey stuff. So like Warmind in particular had these escalation protocol events. I don't know if you've seen them kicking off, James.
They're brilliant.
They are brilliant. But there's not a lot of point in doing them now because at the time they got you like cool end game stuff. And now that stuff's all a bit outdated, and like, I mean, why they don't just give you the same stuff but put higher numbers on it, I don't know. Seems kind of a shame, but so like, you only really need to play through the campaign and not really engage with what was the end game stuff from those expansions, if that makes sense.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
Actually, Sean, there was something I wanted to ask you about this. Like in the tower, you've got like the Cryptarch guy, right? Yeah. That you can buy stuff off. Yeah. I'm only getting rubbish stuff now from him.
Oh yeah, don't buy from him.
Is it not worth it now? Because I'm not getting anything that's like above what I've got anymore.
Yeah, basically, So you reach a point where his stuff will be like permanently sort of lagging behind your actual power level. Yeah. I mean, it does tell you what power level it will be, which is nice. Like before you spend any money. But leave him for now.
So where am I going to get more substantial upgrades on what I've already got?
Is it giving you your like daily and weekly challenges yet? The big sort of yellow, sort of flashy yellow markers on the map.
Yeah, there's those which I've done.
Yeah, so basically, if you look at those, like any challenge or whatever that gives you what it calls powerful gear as opposed to legendary, that'll be something that's like above your current power level. Okay. So it won't necessarily be something you want, but it's
trousers.
Well, yeah. Ideally, but you can always like, obviously, if it's a gun or whatever you don't necessarily want, you can still infuse it with something you've already got. So yeah,
James, do you think this is bad? But back in the D1 days, I was stuck for 6 weeks on the same level because because the right chest piece wasn't dropping. 6 weeks, and that was every single day. I was playing, a lot at that time.
Yeah,
it was annoying, but it wasn't enough to kill me. I still kept playing. That's weird, how bad it was in the D1 days. You weren't there. It was bad.
Because in year 1 of Destiny 2, like they took so much of the randomization out that I really liked it, but like people who played a lot of it didn't so much. Like weapon perks, for example. At the start of Destiny 2, like every like legendary weapon just had like set perks. So the thing, sort of like quirky things like precision kills like increase your reload speed or whatever, like temporarily, or quick successive kills increase your damage, or stuff like that. So like a certain legendary pistol would always have the same perks every time. So the idea was like like in Destiny 1 it was all randomized, and you would get like certain weapons would roll with certain perks randomly, and they would just be like way too good. And then it was like the constant thing of like sort of keeping the meta balanced. So in Destiny 2, they're like, right, well, let's just make it all fixed, and then that solves that. But then it just meant that actually there were still guns that were just better than others, and just everyone wanted those specific guns. And it meant that once you'd got the gun you wanted, there was nothing else to aim for. Like there was no like there was no chance of like, well, I could get the same gun again but with better perks. That just wasn't an alternative. But then with Forsaken they put that back in, so that now like any gun can have like potentially any set of perks, and occasionally you will get one where it's like, oh fuck, like those two perks work really well together. That's amazing. And that's what people really love. So like there is a thrill in like, even if you've got a gun you already like, getting the same one again isn't necessarily like, oh well, what's the fucking point, like, because it might have better perks. So yeah, so they put some of that stuff back in because it turned out people like that. But
so with the annual pass stuff now, there's actually like double the things you've got to buy if you want to be up the top level, right? Because obviously before you just bought a £40 thing every September, and it was like the new DLC or
Well, actually, the way they've done it is that like even without this year's annual pass, you could still like keep doing your daily and weekly objectives and getting powerful gear. You wouldn't get the new stuff that's part of the expansions, but you could still get up to the maximum power level if you wanted.
Oh, okay.
So, which is smarter way of doing it rather than just like gating it off completely.
Anyway, I'm very excited to give my body back to Destiny. I've got Friday booked off because at one point I was going to get Division 2. And there's still an outside chance of that happening, but if not, I'm just going to be playing Destiny 2 all day.
Cool.
And I cannot wait to get back into it.
I'm sure the listeners can't really wait to hear more about it next week.
Yeah, I really hope I do get back into it, because I've sort of wanted a game for ages where I just like fall into and that's all I play.
Yeah.
And I played like demos here or betas here or things here, and I'm like, it's not grabbing me. And I wondered maybe I'm just not into that anymore. Maybe games just don't grab me. But I'm hoping that this does enough, and I'm just fully back and obsessed with this game, because it's been a while since I was. I guess actually Fortnite was the last time I was massively into a game, and then after about season 6 I stopped playing that. So I'm excited to get into it. It seems like there's a lot to get through as well.
Yeah, totally.
It's
so much. Like I say, like you don't really need that annual pass just yet. Like even when it first came out, it was like, well, unless you're like the maximum power level, there's not really any point.
I don't think I need to get it now. Even if like the offer is on, it's tempting. I think James has probably already bought it. Have you already bought it now, James?
No. I mean, because I've still got. I haven't even done any strikes. I've done one strike, so it's like I've got all those to do, and like got to do a raid. I've never done one of those before, so
I mean, we'll have to. We'll organise doing a raid on stream. I think that's got to happen, hasn't it?
Absolutely.
Like it'll be like fucking 5 hours or something. But hey ho.
I'll book a Sunday off.
Right. I've just got one more quick one. I have been playing Baba Is You, which is out. I think it's the day that this podcast comes out. I think it's out on the Wednesday. So we played this at EGX last year.
Yes.
It is still fucking great. So I haven't played a huge amount. I've basically just like redone like what I'd played in the demo, because I don't want to play too much of it, because I am going to stream it, or by the time you listen to this, I will have streamed it.
I'm going to stream it last night.
Yeah. And I'm excited about like getting into the harder stuff. But if you didn't listen to us talk about it at EGX, it's this very weird game where, so it's like sort of 2D like tile based puzzle game, I guess. So you the reason it's called Baba Is You is that, so for most levels you play as this little cute little character called Baba, but like So yeah, and so you're looking down, it's like, okay, so one tile has Baba on it, and then there'll be like some walls dotted around, and then like a flag with a little sparkly effect, and stuff like that. But also among those tiles, there'll be these blocks with words on them. And the reason it's called Baba Is You is because, so the first level, you'll notice that there'll be like 3 blocks next to each other, one that says Baba on it, one that says is, and one that says you. Which obviously makes a sentence, Baba Is You. What you can do is push those around. So they're it's a written statement, but they're also physical blocks in the world that you can push around. And by doing so, you can change the game's logic. So, first level, it's like there's one that says Baba Is You. You're surrounded by some walls, and there's outside of the walls there's a shiny flag, and and looking in one corner of the screen, it's then got another statement that says flag is win, and then next to you in this little sort of room that you're boxed in, it has wall is stop. So all you have to do is take your little character Baba and move around to the wall is stop, and basically move any one of those words out of the way of each other to break the sentence, so walls don't stop you anymore. You break the rule, and the game behaves differently as a result. And then that leaves you free to go and run and grab the flag, and then you win, and then you go to the next level. But if you wanted, you could then take the word wall from that statement and then push it over to where it says flag is win, and replace the word flag with the word wall, and then run into the wall, and that would complete the level and send you to the next one. And that's the first level, and that.
Okay, yeah. So it's pretty quick, but it gets the idea of the premise.
Exactly, yeah.
Into pretty quick.
Yeah, and then immediately, you sort of okay, well, there's a really obvious way to do this, but actually, if I wanted to be a smart ass, here's a way that I could mess around with the way the game works and do it slightly differently. And yeah, it's fucking fascinating. It's so good. It's just there's puzzle games that are just really frustrating, and then there's ones that it's okay, they might be hard, but every time you do figure something out, you're just absolutely fucking beaming, because it's just fuck, that's so clever. It makes you feel clever, but also just in total awe of the people who made the game at the same time. It's just an amazing feeling. And like I say, I've done the first world, and then you go on to the next bit, and already it's throwing way more stuff at me that I never even saw at the EGX demo last year. So I'm properly excited to crack on with that. So yeah, it's fucking great. I mean, unless it gets impossibly difficult later on, and maybe it gets a bit too frustrating, then that would be a problem. But at the moment, I am fully in love with it. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to the stream.
Awesome. And if by now you didn't watch Sean's stream last night, it's all on YouTube is basically what I'm trying to get at. Yeah. So if the one from last night, in the way you're listening to this, you didn't see, it's on the YouTube channel to go there, and you can see Sean's stream from Tuesday night.
Yeah, mate.
I think that made sense.
Yeah, I mean, that's it for me. Matt, what else have you got?
So I finished Ape Out. Last week I was only a level or 2 from the end. This game basically almost gave me a mental breakdown on the weekend. There was, again, Jill and Eddie were out for a fair bit of Sunday. There was a lot of football on, so I had the football on whilst playing this as well, trying to get through it. I saw the credits. I finished the last level. That was great. And then there's a bonus level after the credits. Okay. And oh my god, it is just, well, it wasn't as it was difficult in that I couldn't do it, but I knew what to do. It's just getting through it, because unlike most levels where you just go from left to right.
Hey, Matt, don't ruin it.
Is it?
Because this is
is this a spoiler?
No, because it is a spoiler. Because this, I mean, even Devolver said don't ruin this, because it's
I didn't get the email. Well, I'll beat that. I'll beat that bit out. It's okay. Anyway, but basically the last level was really rather tricky, and I was on it for what felt like hours. I'm dreading seeing my game clock on Switch when it gets updated after 10 days. But I did eventually do it, and I was so thankful. Even last night though, when I went to bed, I was still sort of almost dreaming about the game. While I was lying down, closed my eyes, and I still had visions of the game seared into my brain, because I was just looking at that game for so long, okay, someone's coming here, go there, grab this, throw that person there. It is an absolute stress, and it sort of made me dislike the game a bit.
See, it's mad because I loved that last level because it just felt like a really like cool twist on what you've been doing already.
Don't ruin it, James. They said
I didn't say what the twist was, Matt. Did I? I didn't try and describe it blow by blow account of like what you do.
Blow account. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Yeah, it's a good game, but I was like, that was just too stressful. I know, I guess I didn't have to because I'd already seen the credits, although it would still be on my plate, etc., etc. But I was just...
You've got to play it on hard now.
Fuck that game. Honestly, at one point, I got killed. I was really close to doing it, and I had the switch in my hand, and I was sort of bending it a little bit. Oh god! And if that happened one more time, I was so close to snapping my switch. I put it down. Nothing actually flexed. I just had it very tightly in my hand, and I really fucking wanted to snap it, but I didn't because I thought that would have been ridiculous. But yeah, it's a good game. But I think if I'd ended it after like 2 albums or 3 albums, I would have said it was an absolute masterpiece. As it is, it's good. It's so incredibly hard. It sort of made me hate it. I mean, I don't hate it by the end, but it's definitely like tainted my love for the game for sure. That's just because I'm shit, I guess. But it's just sort of fucking annoying. I mean, and the thing is, I can also really appreciate that last post credits level. I can really appreciate it, and it's good I've got through it, mostly because I'm not sure I would have slept if I hadn't got through that yesterday. I was dreading coming onto this podcast saying, oh, I just haven't done it and I might quit. I was so close to quitting as well so many times. I was like, fuck this, what am I doing in my life? I don't have to do this. I've seen the credits, that's fine, that game's done. But I knew that last level was very doable. Just because I know what mechanics are, but because it's getting generating because it's different every time. Like sometimes you can just get a really shitty run. Other times you can get a really much easier run.
Mm-hmm. It's not like that.
That's the way it felt to me. Like I would do the same things. I would grab the. I'll think tactically. I'll like grab the right people, chuck them. But sometimes you can go into a room and there's like 5 guys with machine guns. Like, what can you do about that? You're fucked.
Yeah, but that's the whole thing, though. It's like you can't. I don't think you can like think tactically with this kind of game, though. The whole thing is it's just emotion. It's just like reacting to events rather than like, okay, I've got to do this, or whatever.
Okay, but when I say tactically, I mean like basically doing the right thing. When you see either a crowd of people that's backing away, if you see one you can get to, chucking out to someone else. Basically, like thinking on your feet and doing the right thing given the situation. That's what I mean. But sometimes there won't be a situation where you run into a room and there's 5 people with machine guns. Other times there will be. So. And so that made me know, look, I know I can do it because one time there'll be a run that won't be a total twat of a run. Even if sometimes I could die in the first room, and other times I can go for much longer because of the way the enemies are placed or the way I've been handling each situation. Anyway, I still recommend it. I still think it's like a really unique game, and I overall I did like it. But my god, that last post credits level almost killed me and my Switch. Do you have an interest in getting it, Sean?
I do. It's one of those ones where like the praise for it hasn't been like so unanimous that I'm like, yeah, I absolutely need this. But I know I should.
Yeah. Did either of you two see the PC Gamer review?
No.
They gave it a 70 out of 100.
Okay.
And
which, as we all know, means it's dog shit.
Yeah. Well, exactly. That's definitely on the lower side, and they're all saying, look, if this game had ended 2/3 of the way through, it would have been a lot better, but it sort of outstays its welcome. Mm-hmm. I don't know bullshit. About that specifically, but it's just, no, I mean, you know my thoughts on that last level. Are you going to go through and play on harder, James?
I'm tempted to. I'm certainly tempted to go back and play some more. Yeah, I just loved it. I just really loved it. I thought it was fantastic.
Although I will say, I've said that, but also part of me wants to start the game again and to see what I'm like now. I feel like that last level, the post credits level, was so difficult that I actually totally changed how I saw the game and my playing style. Whereas before, I think all levels up to then it was basically just emotion. Whereas that last level, I had to think much harder about what I did in each room. So part of me wants to see if I could totally rinse through the game now. But whatever. That was Ape Out. Bloodborne, still loving that. I killed the Witch of Hemwick, I think, the boss. That's like a really easy boss. I did actually die because I got stuck in a corner with some other enemies, but yeah, I did that. And now I'm in the woods. I basically ended the stream at the start of the woods. I think it's the woods or the forest. Maybe.
One of them.
So apparently that's like a total maze, and there was a boss at the end of it, obviously, but it may be a stream or two of me being in the forest, but I'm excited to play it. I'm still absolutely loving that game.
Cool. Good.
It's doing incredible. Resident Evil 2. So I streamed that on Wednesday, and obviously I've spent like 5 or 6 weeks streaming this game up to now, doing Leon's A campaign. I finished Leon's A campaign, started Claire's B campaign immediately, and basically played for half an hour a couple of weeks ago. Or I guess it was like a week on Saturday, or whatever. And I restarted it this week, and I thought I'm going to do a different tack this week. I'm actually going to I'm actually starting to watch some speed runs on YouTube, and I thought, I've done the whole like me being scared thing and like wandering around, and I'm not sure everyone wants another 14 hours of that on their plate, frankly. So I thought I'll take a different tact, and so I'm not speed running it, but I'm basically watching some runs of people saying, go here, do this, here's the code. And I'm doing it a lot quicker. And actually, I've already got out of the police station for the first time. And after just 2 hours, and this took me 6 hours on my first playthrough. Apparently, Claire's one is a lot quicker, so it's not that crazy. I've already activated Mr. X. I'm actually livid. Oodles, if you're listening, I hate you. He's like, if you don't go past the STARS office, you're fine. But I went in it, and I'd activated Mr. X.
Brilliant.
And what was sort of surprising to me is, I survived Leon's A campaign. People who've watched the streams or the highlights know that I didn't handle it very well when Mr. X was in the house. And I thought, I've done that. I can handle it again. I activated him, and it wasn't quite as bad, but it was it was horrific. Basically, still, I thought I'd be over this. I thought I would have calmed down, but no, it was bad. It was very, very fucking bad. And then I realised at the end of the stream, I was like, oh, brilliant, I'm out of the police station. Only 2 hours is amazing. But actually, in Leon's campaign, at this point, I hadn't even met Mr. X. Therefore, I'm going to have to go back into the police station, and Mr. X will be running around again. So in my mind, in that stream, I thought, oh, brilliant, I've got past it. That now it's just the labs and shit. But no, I totally forgot all the sewers. I have to go back in. I have to go to the bell tower. But having said that, I think Oodles or someone else said in the chat that I could get this done in like another 2 or bit hours. So it would be amazing if I totally rinsed through the game in 4 hours. That would be awesome. So yeah, I'll read some tips, and I'm gonna see how well I get on tonight. If you're listening to this on Wednesday, I'm gonna stream tonight from 8:30 until 10:30. So go to twitch.tv/computer game show and watch me absolutely speed run the hell out of this game. I'm gonna be a pro gamer now, speed running through Resident Evil 2.
Nice.
That's it, really. Yeah.
Cool. James, you got anything else?
I finished Red Dead Redemption 2.
Hey!
Right, amazing.
Completely finished it.
Wow, God, so how far were you into the prologues anyway?
I was in...
Sorry, is it prologue or epilogue? I'm the worst person
it's
on the
epilogue.
Epilogue. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
I was just about to start the second part of the epilogue.
Oh, okay, so you were actually
beginning of last week.
I thought.
Yeah. And so, again, there's not really much I can say about it because it's all story, and that's the only thing that is, that you can really say about this, because I've already said it's how good it is. But I know I love the epilogue. I thought it was great because I did feel it offered like closure to the main story as well.
Interesting, James. So let's think back to December last year, and I said yes, you can discuss the end of like Red Dead, but really, I think you need to have really played the rest of the epilogues to really have the full picture. What would you say about that?
Why are you saying that, Matt?
Well, I'm just explaining because obviously last year Dave's like, I don't think that's the case. But
well, no, I think.
Okay. Do you think discussing the end of Red Dead without having played the epilogues would be a bit of a waste of time, given what happens in the epilogues?
No, I think you could just play up to the end of like the main story and still feel that you'd had a complete experience. But I feel the epilogue does what an epilogue does. It's it does offer a bit extra, like a bit, as I said, like a bit extra closure to the main story, and it is like, it's a perfect follow-on, for the original game, that came out like before. Yeah. And because it does to a degree feel like an entirely new game in a way, like when you start to kick about in that. And I mean, it's funny because after I finished this, I felt done with the story, but not really done with the world. I just wish there was more there. I mean, sadly, there's not going to be, is there? I mean, I doubt they're going to do anything much more with it, which is a shame.
There's no chance now, I don't think, sadly.
Which is a shame because there's that whole extra, you know what I mean. There's a lot there which to play in, and it's like that they don't really give you a reason to do so, and that's kind of a bit of a shame, I think.
But I truly do think that I feel like the epilogues are fantastic, and I feel like only once you play them can you really discuss the full entire story? Yes, you can discuss up to the end of chapter 6 of Red Dead 2, but I think the epilogues are a fantastic ending point. I thought the last couple of missions were brilliant.
Yeah, totally.
I thought they're fantastic.
No, but totally excellent. I mean, definitely one. I mean, it's in probably my top 5 like games ever.
Really?
It's
okay.
Really good. Yeah, I know. I really did enjoy it a lot. It's I mean, obviously, there's still all those the things about the controls and all that kind of stuff. But in general, though, like the character building, like the way that especially in the epilogue, like what happens to certain characters in that, like it changed my perspective on a few of them. Not really changed. I mean, it sort of confirmed what I felt about key characters in that, and which was good. And I can't say because obviously, I mean, this is a game that I really wouldn't want to ruin for anyone because it really is like worth experiencing. I feel,
absolutely.
Despite the fact that it does, I mean, there are long sections of the game where it you could say it drags, but it doesn't really because for me that's part of the world. That's part of the way that it's been sort of designed in that way, and I just enjoyed that. I embraced the having to like ride your horse for ages and stuff like that. I enjoyed it. It felt part of the experience, but yeah, very good. Yeah. It's very good.
I would love a single player like DLC thing, but it's never going to happen, is it?
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird, isn't it? It seems like it made such an impact when it came out, but like no one seems particularly bothered about it now. Like GTA always felt like it had GTA like 4 and 5 had such a long tail on them, whereas this feels like obviously it's done brilliantly, but it's like like Red Dead Online's here and no one really cares. I don't know. It just feels like it was.
I mean, GTA 4 had all those like DLC stuff, didn't it? I mean,
True.
It had loads of we had all those, and then GTA 5 didn't, but it did have the online, which did seem to like blow up. Like people are still playing that. By all accounts. I mean, that's why
it's still in the top 10 almost every single week. I mean, but GTA is always a bigger license, and I can see why, because I just feel like cars and racing through real cities are always going to be a bit more popular than cowboys on horses, I think. So I don't think it's not the end of the world, but yeah, even with, I mean, God knows how many millions of copies they've sold, I guess just developing a DLC would just take so long if they're going to keep up to the standards of the main game.
Because there's so many stories that you could see that could be told in this world, and it's all there, like just waiting for that. It's just a shame that it's probably not going to happen. It's I'd
love to hear more about Simon the Chef, but that's a shame. So
good old Si.
The only other thing I played this week, which I started playing last night, so I don't really have a lot to say, is this game which I was going through the eShop and I was just looking at what was new and what was on sale and stuff like that. And then I came across this game called Tardy, which is it seems to be like a Russian like indie game, sort of space like sort of adventure game.
This game got heavily delayed, didn't it?
Hey,
come on.
Brilliant.
That was actually funny on WhatsApp. It's a shame, really.
It was, yeah. It was much better when you did
didn't even mention it. Anyway, whatever. Tardy.
Yeah, James was just like, oh, no, I don't think it was...
Yeah, I don't think it was delayed.
Then I was like...
And then my first thing was like, are you enjoying it? I was like, that was brilliant as well. Nothing. Tough crowd.
But yeah, it's so what it is it's an adventure-style game in the sense of like, like stuff like Beneath a Still Sky.
Oh, yeah.
And things like that. So it's that kind of style, but it's you see, one of the things that I always disliked about adventure games from the past like that was having like the inventory and then having to like do stuff like combine a banana with a light bulb and stuff like that.
It cut out there. Sorry, the what? You don't like the what? Sorry.
Are you joking or serious?
No. What happened? What did you say? You don't like the what?
Are you taking the piss?
No, I want to hear what. What did you don't like the what? It cut out.
I always hated in the earlier games like the inventory management and stuff like that.
What's that I word?
Inventory. What are you talking about, mate? It's the inventory.
Inventory, okay.
Yeah.
The first time you said it, I was like, it just sounded incredible. In my mind, it's inventory, but...
Inventory.
Am I saying it wrong?
Yeah, inventory. Is...
I mean,
okay.
I don't know. What,
you know what? No,
way?
James, you know what? Fuck off, you're fired. Sean, carry on.
What is going on?
I don't know. I just thought you said the word funny.
I
just thought you said the word funny, James.
Shall I start picking up on some of the stuff you've said?
Please don't. We'll be here all day.
Because we could. I mean,
it's a 6-hour show if you're picking up the shit I say. Anyway, inventory.
Just all right. We'll talk about it next week. Should we go?
Tell us about Tardy.
Yeah, go on.
No, I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it.
I want to hear about it.
Well, I'll talk about it next week after I played more of it. It looks interesting. There you go.
Okay.
James, are you seriously going to not talk about it because I mentioned the word
well, no, you're being a dick about it, so why should I? It's like, I don't want to.
James, you were a dick to me all last week. I think I'm allowed one little...
You have been quite harsh on Matt, James.
It's last week, James. I listened back. You were so mean to me about the Twitch thing. It's ridiculous. It's a fucking piss take, frankly.
That was... Okay, if we're going to start... Okay, who was the one who got me up in front of an entire audience... in front of a live audience? That's a bit different to being a bit mean about...
It wasn't nothing to me. It's a very, very mean listener.
You okayed it, Matt. You okayed
it. I did know about it.
Let's not go over old ground. Let's hear about Tardy.
I was going to say, I mean, how far back are you? Do you want to just make up like a spreadsheet and tally up how many times one of you got the other?
We should do
that.
And
then we can... Well, we've got a score at the end of it, and we can see who's in the lead.
James, I don't know if you remember fucking Night in the Woods. Do you remember that?
It's your own fault. You shouldn't have lied about it.
Well, you shouldn't have been slag off juiced.
Never did. That was the whole thing, wasn't it, with that?
You did, James. Every week I saw someone mugged you off on... No, Tardy. It looks like a sort of... is it meant to be sort of like a Monkey Island style graphics and styling?
It's supposed to be that, but without having to do stupid puzzles, basically.
That sounds very appealing, to be fair.
Yeah, I mean, there are puzzles in it, but they're basically just like logic puzzles, which are actually I found them quite enjoyable to try and figure out. And it's all things like, like you have to you find a computer, you need to access it to find, so you need to find like a login, and then you need to find like a password, but you find the login by like there's a Pong machine, so you play that, and then you find out who the high score person is on there, and it turns out that's the name of the like the login, like person's name, and then like the password you find out through like sort of solving this like quite simple sort of like number puzzle and everything. So it's all kind of like that, and it what I like about it is compared with the older games where it was all just like ridiculous, like combine this with this or whatever, and it will make a whatever. This is more sort of like it's like, as I said, it's quite logical, like the way the puzzles work out. And every time I've solved one, I've felt like, oh, that's quite good. That quite pleased that I figured that one out. And and the story also seems quite interesting because it's dripping like atmosphere.
I was going to say, what's the writing like? Is it decent?
The writing's not bad, but it's also it's the sound.
Okay.
The sound design is really nice. Okay. Like it's got that sort of like sort of synth like sort of sort of sound synth like playground and that kind of thing. And so it sounds good.
Cool.
But I mean I'm not that far into it, but I'm going to play a bit more this week, I think, and
nice.
I'll say more when I finished it. Hopefully.
I feel like I need to spend a bit more time on the eShop because I feel like there's so much stuff on there that's probably actually quite good that isn't getting talked about. Like we've mentioned before, the discoverability on there has gone totally down the toilet now, and like I feel like a lot of stuff possibly getting ignored. And as you say, it's so easy to just be like, right, what's on sale, and just browse like stuff that's like currently discounted. I feel like I should make a bit more of an effort there. So, yeah.
I mean, this was cheap. This was like under £4, I think.
Really?
So I just thought I'm gonna have a go on this because I just thought it's not a lot of money. Yeah. And I had to look up, and it came out on PC like a while ago, and it was all like 9 out of 10 on Steam and all. I mean, not that means anything, but at least I thought it's going to be not bad, So definitely, I think there is quite a lot of stuff, like you said, on the shop, and it's it's just there's a lot. Just have a look at.
Yeah, cool. Right, emails then.
Okay, if you want to email us, it's podcast@thecomputergameshow.com. The first one is from Dean. He says, apologies if you already know this or it has been discussed on the pod before. As a recent new listener to the podcast, I was convinced that I already knew the name James Farley and had a connection to gaming, but I couldn't place it or wasn't sure where I'd heard the name come up before. It just dawned on me now that the reason I know the name so well with regards to gaming is because while in New York City back in 2016, I convinced the missus that we absolutely had to visit the James Farley post office before we left New York, aka the base of operations from the Division.
Hang on, where's the question? Why is this in the questions?
Statement.
It should be in feedback.
I don't know. I mean, I didn't put it here. This should have gone in feedback, Matt. Why is it in emails?
I just put it in there. I don't know. It just went in. It doesn't matter. I read it and I thought, oh, that's good. But actually, I wanted James to read it, really, is why I put it in there.
You could have put it in feedback and just said, oh, James, you read this out.
There is, yeah. Because it's the former Postmaster General had the same name.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
So there's a James Farley post office in Leeds. There's actually there's Matthew Murray House because he was apparently the godfather of engineering. Mm-hmm. Is there a Sean Bell house around we can go to?
Have you ever Googled my name?
Well, I know it's a bad man, isn't it?
Well, no, he wasn't a bad man. He just happened to get shot by the police for no reason.
Okay. I haven't actually read
the reason being he was black, I think, is all the justification they need these days.
Okay.
Yeah, so there's so there's loads of news stories about it and like protests with all people waving signs saying justice for Sean Bell, which is weird for me to see, even though obviously it's nothing to do with me. But yeah, so
I remember on that lost episode that we lost because it was my fault with the recording, where we did like that quiz about Tranmere Rovers and found out that there was like a top striker called Bunny Bell, and I had a breakdown trying to explain that because it was
it's a shame we lost about
Stop
that.
laughing. Yeah, it was good.
Good.
Okay.
Well, there's a question on this next one.
Is there a question? I don't know. Matt, is there a question on this one?
Well, I can see one of the paragraphs starts with, here's my question for the pod. So, fingers crossed.
Okay. So, this is Joe Mankey, I presume. Hello, boys. I've been listening to you guys for over a year or so now. As a despicable American, it's been fun hearing your perspective from across the sea. I'm getting really close to being able to tell your voices apart too, I swear. With the new site, I was finally able to find contact info. I don't use Twitter. Twitter is bad.
I've got to pipe in here. Like, I mean, I'm really thankful you contacted us, Joe. But also, we mention the contact things at the end every episode. This is why I bought a website, I guess.
Because equally, you did say, it'd be cool to have a website because not everyone uses social media, and here we are.
Yeah, but we also mentioned the email, didn't we, on everyone?
True.
But no, anyway, I mean, this is why I built a website because not everyone's on social, so it's great. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Here's my question for the pod. I'm curious, what game did you absolutely love but nobody else played and never got any publicity when it was released? Either an old game or a recent one. As an example, my favourite underappreciated game is Freelancer, a masterpiece developed by Digital Anvil and published by Microsoft Game Studios in 2003. If you want to read my evangelization on Freelancer, see below. And then there's quite an extensive email about
words,
why it's good.
But
I'm not probably going to read all that, but Matt will put it in the show notes. So
we can do that now.
No,
that's great.
I won't do
Thanks,
that.
Matt.
I'm not going to do that. It's a great email, thanks, Joe, but I'm not going to put 6,000 words in the show notes. It'll break iTunes.
So that's Joe in Seattle. I mean, have any of us got any of these, like ones that we've really liked, but no one else cares?
There was an amazing Master System game that I love called Putt and Putter, which is basically across the team pinball and pitch and putt. And me and my sister played that for hours and hours and hours. Have any of you heard of this?
No.
It was amazing, and I wish all the time that it would come to mobile. It's clearly not going to, but yeah, it was fucking brilliant. And I've never actually heard anyone else talk about it. I'm sure they won't because it's a random golf and pinball game on a Master System.
Are you sure it's real?
I'm fairly sure it was real. Anyway, I always think about getting a Master System 2 again just to play that game because it was so bloody good.
You could probably just get an emulator.
I could do, I guess. Yeah. I might do that. Oh, that would be the best dream ever. I might do that. Actually, good point. Yeah, no, Pot and Potter is mine.
Okay.
Okay.
I mean, for me, Armored Core, obviously, I always bang on about it. I genuinely think it's a brilliant series. Just hasn't really got much of a foothold in the West. I mean, a couple of years back, I would have said Monster Hunter, but that's all right now. That's
way too mainstream now.
Yeah. I mean, the other main one is El Shaddai Ascension of the Metatron on the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360, which was I genuinely think is brilliant. Like, it's just so fucking weird, and it's so full of interesting ideas and like weird art design, and I think it's an absolutely fascinating game. And most of the reviews pretty much panned it. It was basically me and Keza McDonald, who I think at the time reviewed it for Eurogamer, and we both gave it like fucking 9 out of 10, and no one else liked it. So that was an interesting one. But yeah, I think it's an absolutely fascinating game. You got any, James?
There was Typewriter recently.
Oh yeah,
I like that, but no one cared. It's game about fonts, but I liked it.
I really appreciate what it tried to do. I just felt the constant back and forth between playing a bit and then reading a bit was a bit jarring, I suppose. But I don't know.
I was fine until I got to the Gill Sounds bit.
Matt.
What?
Matt King has emailed. He says, "Love the show."
Hang on, do you not know about Gill Sounds? Oh,
I don't know what you're talking about, Matt. I've forgotten.
Well, I don't want to actually. I shouldn't discuss it. It's fine. The thing, can I go back to Potter and Potter? Everyone Google Gill Sounds, the creator. It's quite a story. It should be a Netflix documentary.
We talked about this before. Yeah.
The thing about Potter and Potter, right, is that in 2-player, you could both hit your balls at the same time, and you could basically just like it was just madness because it was basically a battle to get to the hole straight away because you could hit the balls ever, and it was just brilliant fun. And I laughed so much, Sean. We had some times playing that. It's probably one of my favorite games of all time, actually, thinking about it now. Putt and Putter. What a game.
Classic.
Matt King says, love the show, etc. Just a quick suggestion for Matt's Bloodborne stream. I've been banging on in chat for a while about Matt trying out the Chalice dungeons, often overlooked, semi-procedurally generated 3-level dungeons that are entirely optional. Some people aren't big fans of them because they don't progress the main story and can feel a bit samey. Sometimes, as there are quite a few to get through. So, what if Tuesdays became an additional Bloodborne stream day once he's got Resident Evil 2 off his plate, with Sundays being the main story progression and Tuesdays being the Chalice dungeons? Reasons for doing the Chalices are, Chalice dungeons are the main source of blood gems, I was going to say germs then, which can be attached to weapons to make them more powerful in stats and elemental damage types. Some of the enemies and bosses are unique, and Matt was quoted as saying he'd do all of the bosses. Plus, the very final boss of them is very important lore-wise. No spoilers. There are special weapons variants and hidden merchants in some of them. Plus, to make them less of a slog, if you want to rinse through quickly, you can invite a chat in the co-op by sharing each unique character's code once the dungeon is generated, making it a bit of a community thing on top. Anyway, maybe try the first one at least to see if you dig the idea. Oh, also looking forward to the inevitable Destiny 2 raid stream whenever that may be.
So, have you done these Chalice dungeons before, Sean?
I did a few of them, yeah. Yeah, they're good.
Are they worth cracking on with?
Yeah, I mean, in terms of like streams and stuff, I think it'd be cool if you just did one session that was just like, let's have a go at the Chalice dungeons. I think that's a cool idea. But yeah, like because they're sort of separate to the main game, they are totally optional. But yeah, like they're just, as you mentioned, it's like there's like unique bosses and then sort of twists on existing ones. And yeah, they're pretty good, man.
Yeah, I do want to do everything in Bloodborne just like I did with Dark Souls, and maybe if I'm getting stuck, can I like level up with these things, or is it?
It's still separate? Like it's still the same character that you take into them. Yeah, it's just
okay. So I guess if I'm stuck on a boss and I'm really struggling, like Ornstein and Smoke, I can just like do these for a bit, maybe level up a bit.
Yeah, totally.
Okay, maybe I don't know about doing another stream on Tuesdays. Tuesdays is editing night anyway. I only have 3 nights a week spare as it is, but we'll see. I mean, I do want. You're right. Maybe if I get getting stuck on Bloodborne, I'll do some Chalice stuff. Mm-hmm. It sounds interesting for sure. Cool. That's it for emails, isn't it, James?
Do you know, Matt? I've completely forgotten about Eric Gill.
I've just been reading it as well.
It's horrific, isn't it? Yeah.
Yes. Everyone Google Gill Sounds. It's quite should be.
Well, because even like scrolling down the Wikipedia page, it's not immediate. It's like what's the big deal? And then it's right near the bottom.
It is right near the bottom. I think that was what got him in trouble.
Yeah, personal life and contribution. Yeah. Have a look at those sections.
It's good font though.
Well, that's why I wasn't too happy about that leveling in Typewriter, frankly. Too much information. Anyway, want to tweet at Computer Game on Twitter if you want tweets. We've got some quick fire ones, guys. Are you ready for this?
Nice. Go for it.
This is Curtis at Luke Cage H4H. I haven't tweeted in a while, so just wondering. Question 1: When are you lot going to stream Overcooked?
Probably should.
Yeah, I would like to. I'm waiting basically for Twitch to open up they're opening up dual streaming this year, where you're gonna have 4 people streaming at the same time. I think that'd be a great one to kick it off on.
For Overcooked, you don't need it though, do we? Because it's all just top down. You can see everyone.
Yeah, but I would like to see everyone's faces.
Yeah, I see. Right. So we can write. Yeah.
Actually, you're probably right there. That's probably a bad example. But anyway, we should do it, and we will do it at some point when we have a free day. When are you going to have a guest on?
Possibly quite soon, because James, as well as missing Res, he's buggering off for 3 weeks. So that leaves us
2 weeks.
3 weeks. You're missing 3. You're missing 3 episodes.
2 shows.
Yeah, but plus Res.
Yeah.
So 3.
It doesn't count, does it?
Does.
Well, it does count, actually, because it's very important to the future podcast, but you don't care about it.
Yeah, it's obviously for Res, we've got special guests, David Turner, I don't know if you've heard of him.
Yeah.
New kid on the block, has not done any podcasting before. So we've got 2 of the weeks where, we could just do it, me and Matt, that'd be quite nice. But we'll ask around to see if anyone's up for it.
Yeah, we're going to definitely get some guests on the first guest of the 2019 era of TCGS, so get ready for that. When's Capone going to do an edit? I guess I could ask. Capone, if you're listening, when are you going to do an edit?
Whenever he wants, really.
When's Farley going to play the Zero Escape games?
I actually downloaded them this weekend.
Oh, is that happening? Yeah. Are they horror games?
No, they're sort of like similar to Phoenix Wright, kind of, but not really.
Visual novels, aren't they? They are meant to be really creepy, right? Not horror.
Yeah, they're like graphic novels. Graphic novels with puzzle sections. So yeah.
But is there a game with escape in the title? It's like a wee horror game. Is that? I thought Zero Escape was like that. Is there something with a game with a camera?
What?
No, that's. Oh, I know what you.
Fuck, we need to find this now because someone's going to tweet it otherwise.
It's the one with the camera.
Yeah, it's the one.
Not because there was Fatal Frame, but the Wii one was called.
Maybe
it's Fatal Frame.
It might be that. You're right.
Was the Wii one called something else?
No, it's Fatal Frame. I'm sure.
I'm googling it now.
Yeah, you're probably right. Anyway, so does it escape like a Phoenix Wright style game?
Project Zero.
Project Zero.
Yeah. It's the word zero I got confused with again. But Zero Escape, they're like Phoenix Wright, are they, James?
Well, they're sort of graphic novels, but with the puzzle stuff. So not really like Phoenix Wright.
What platform are they on? Everything or?
I've got it on PS4. But because I think it was free or it was very cheap or something quite a while ago, and because I've got this collection of it, but it's I just never got around to actually playing it, which is bad.
Last question from Curtis: what big game do you own that you know you'll never play? His is Metal Gear Solid 5. You should play that, Curtis. It's fucking brilliant.
Up to a point.
Well, I didn't finish it.
I was going to say, I know you didn't. No one bloody finished that game.
I know John Denton did. But yeah, it's an excellent game. I just stopped playing it.
Yeah. No, I put a lot of time into it. It's just unfortunately it's very long.
It's a very long game. It really is.
Big game do I own that I know I'll probably never play? Yakuza Zero's still taunting me.
On the plate,
although I did have a big clear out of the PS4 the other day because I was running out of space, and Yakuza Zero is still there. I looked at it. I was like, no, I'm not deleting it. I will go back at some point
to go back.
Yeah. What else? My brother lent me his copy of God of War, which I think I first mentioned about 6 months ago. And so I got around to playing that.
That's a good one, Sean.
I know, but everyone's like, oh yeah, it's actually like fucking, 60 hours long or whatever. So
it's not 60 hours long. It's like 20.
Okay.
But either way, it's brilliant, and once you start, it's just fantastic.
Yeah, I just want to see it more than anything else because I've seen screenshots of some of the weird shit in it. Yeah, I'm excited. So I do need to sort that out. I think that's it from me.
The sad thing is that I own loads that I don't even know because I've just downloaded them on PS Plus.
Yeah,
and that's the real tragedy here.
Mm.
I think mine at the moment is probably Horizon Zero Dawn. I've got that game.
You see,
don't know if I'm ever going to play
I tried with that. It's absolutely fine. Some people really adore it, and I am very happy for them because it's clearly got a lot going for it. I don't know, just didn't really grab me for any Like, I don't know, nothing about it really stood out for me. I mean, it looks beautiful, but
yeah, I want to give it another go because I played that. That was the first game I played immediately after Breath of the Wild. Whichever
I think
knows,
that was it, wasn't
it's an
it?
incredible
It was
game.
like, yeah,
and that's a mistake because Breath of the Wild, to like exploring the amazing open world. This, I was like, there's a point in there. Go forward, go to the point. I mean, I was not in the right frame. I mean, right frame of mind is probably the wrong way to say it, but basically, I just played Breath of the Wild. I was like, oh, what a game! And now this is like, there's the stuff on a map, and I'm going basically straight towards the marker. I was like, this is rubbish. I'm not doing it. But I was, I think maybe now long enough has passed after Breath of the Wild, and maybe I should give it another go because obviously it sold amazingly well. I think we mentioned last week it sold 10 million copies. It got amazing reviews at the time. It looks stunning as well. I should go back to that really.
Yeah.
I hope I answered the question. Lee Davies at Leroy Francisco. With Sekiro just around the corner, I would like to know your opinions on Tenchu. From what I've heard, Sekiro started life as a Tenchu game before becoming its own IP. I love the original Tenchu, and all the videos I've seen of Sekiro are getting me hyped. Sekiro looks amazing, doesn't it? It looks stunning.
It does look great. I don't know if I'm going to bother immediately, just because I don't need a hard game in my life at the moment. But I don't know. We'll see. I mean, if I imagine the praise for it is just going to be like impossible to ignore when it does come out. So.
Yeah, this is going to be. I think it's going to be like 9s and 10s all over the board. Frankly,
probably,
would you pronounce it Sekiro or Sekiro?
It'd be Sekiro, yeah.
Sekiro, yeah. Okay, I thought I was doing it wrong.
I mean, you can roll the R as well if you really want to.
Sekiro, I mean, it looks absolutely stunning. But I'm probably in the same place as you, in all honesty. But I think it's going to be a stunner. I can't wait to play it, but just not right now.
But yeah, Tenchu. I used to play shitloads of. It was a really good one back in the day. I used to go around to a mate's and we'd play. I think we went through basically like the whole series, or at least the first 3 Tenchu games. Just take it in turns, just try and do levels, and then.
Yeah, I love that first one on PS1. It's so good.
Yeah. I mean, it's aged horribly, but
I can imagine. Yeah,
there's a really good Kane and Rince episode about it that I'd really recommend listening to. Yeah, it's just obviously a lot of people talking about it who really loved it back in the day, but are very honest about how it's aged. It's really interesting. But yeah, I just always remember that I think it was Tenchu 3. You could unlock this third character who was like a doctor. And his special ability was that he made like animal noises. So if you were on if the enemies were on like yellow alert, he'd make like an owl noise or something, and they'd like, oh, it's just an animal, it's fine. But like to the point that like you could jump down on someone, like attack them, and then like from behind jump away again, and then they'd spin round and they'd be on yellow alert, and then you'd just be at the top of the wall and just go meow, and they'd be like, oh, it's just a cat. It's fine.
It's just it's definitely a cat. Definitely a cat. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I've got this big sword slash in my back. Definitely so that was good fun. And then I gather so they did one on the Xbox 360, which I think was shit.
Yeah, I remember being excited for that, and then the reviews not being good. I'm like, oh well.
It's definitely a franchise that deserves another proper go, I think. If they did one that sort of learned, the things that we've seen in the Batman Arkham series and stuff like that. Like there are many other ways of doing stealth now, I think. Yeah. So that'd be cool. I'd be up for that. But Sekiro initially was a Tenchu game, and then they realized it was far too much. There was far too much actual good fighting in it, whereas Tenchu was you could fight people, but obviously the point was mostly trying to avoid combat. So yeah.
Did you play Tenchu when you were younger, James?
No, I played the original, the first PlayStation 1 game, but very little, just over someone's house. Yeah. So yeah, I don't really know much about it. So
Shawnee Boy at WSIO. I mean, I'm not going to. It's Shawnee Boy on Twitter to find him. Is a support group of people like me who are struggling with the guilt of having such a huge pile of shame. I'm 40 this year, and I've realised that I'll be dead long before I get to all the games I own.
I mean, the only solution to that is to just get better at not buying everything. I find, like I say, like with Sekiro, for example, as I just said, do I need it the day it comes out? Probably not. Give it a couple of weeks. Even if the praise for it is unanimous to begin with, are people still talking about it a month afterwards, for example? like I think that gives you a better sense of whether something's like a proper like must-have, because like if the conversation continues beyond a certain point, then it's like really got to people. So like because when Fallout 4 came out, I was like, I like Fallout, I should get Fallout 4 when that comes out. I'll really enjoy that. And like it was like after the first week, no one was talking about it anymore because they're just like, I finished it. It's all right. It's like, right, well, they don't need my £40 then. So yeah, just there's nothing really you can do. Like you can't make the pile any smaller, but you can at least stop it growing as fast as it has previously.
I think more recently I've been happier about letting some stuff just go by and just think, I'm probably never going to get to that.
I mean, it means we get shouted at the end of the year show because we haven't played everything, but it's what it is.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, but I guess these days, piles of shame. Now they're including all the PS Plus stuff. You're like, I'll download that because I would like to go back to that or play this game. And I guess, I mean, I at one point had a massive list of all the games I need to go and play, I'm buying a lot less games these days. And what I am getting, I'm getting through and then moving on. Yeah. Whereas before, I was totally the same as you, Sean. I'm like, okay, well, game's out, I'll get it, and then not play it for a while. And I'm like, why did I do that?
Yeah.
And I'm just trying to like think about stuff less really, because if I had a list of all the games I haven't finished or need to go back to, it'd be a ridiculous list.
I mean, one thing you can do that will help is basically for every game you buy, you have to finish 2 first. Like I know people who've just implemented that, and that's like, or not necessarily finish it, but just like if you're happy that you are definitely done with a game and you no intention of going back, then that counts as finishing it. But yeah, like if you knock off 2 for every one, like so you can still buy new games if you want. Just make sure you actually work through ones that are just sitting around.
Yeah, I guess I could try that, but then it would mean I probably just won't be growing any new games ever if I've got to finish 2 before a new one. You know what? I think we're going to call it that. Thanks for all the tweets this week. It's at Computer Game Pod if you want to tweet us.
That was for those who are curious. That was the sound of Matt looking at the rest of the tweets and going, "Nah, oh shit, mate."
Thinking like, you know what?
No, it's been 2.5 hours.
Questions before, I think. So anyway, thanks for all the tweets. It's at Computer Game Pod if you want to tweet us anytime during the week. You don't have to wait for Mondays to tweet us questions and stuff. But at Computer Game Pod on Twitter. That's it for the show. We are streaming. We're still streaming. I'm streaming tonight. I'm streaming Resident Evil 2 from 8:30 tonight on twitch.tv/Computer Game Show. James is back for Deadly Premonition Friday from 9 PM on Twitch. I'm
maybe.
So what's that?
Maybe after
last Friday.
I want to talk to you about that. Like you rage quit the stream.
Well, I didn't rage quit, but I was close to it because I was really angry at that point because it was just ridiculous. It was
Yeah, I mean, I watched it. You were a very angry little man. Like, how's that going to improve on the Friday? You got to do the same thing again, haven't you?
Yeah, I've got a plan of how I'm going to do it, but it was. I mean, I'd already spent 15 or 20 minutes driving, like in the rain.
Oh, in the rain as well,
with nothing happening. Wasn't even any conversation, just nothing, just driving around rubbish roads in the rain. And then all that stuff happened. And it was just the terrible combat and just awful.
Well, hopefully that sold it for you. So Friday at 9, watch James driving about in the rain with rubbish combat. Maybe having, just freaking out, being angry on stream. Watch that. That's Friday night from 9. I'm back for Bloodborne Sunday night from 9. I'm in the forest, I think. And then Sean is playing an indie game of his choosing Tuesday night from 9. If you miss any of them and Sean's one from last night and any of the other ones we've done recently, they're all on our YouTube channel. Just search for the Computer Game Show on YouTube. All the information about our show and all the other stuff is on thecomputergameshow.com. Please go there. Let us know what you think. And Twitch, if you've got Amazon Prime, you also have Twitch Prime, and we really massively appreciate it if you were to give us your free monthly subscription. They're lapsed over a month, so if you've subscribed before but it's been over a month, please go back. Please think about going back and give us another subscription. We really appreciate that. And that's it.
Totally. Right, cool. Thanks for listening. We haven't gone too far over time. I think we're all right. I think we're actually on Dash Radio again, right?
Oh, we are. We are definitely on Dash Radio. There's been negotiations have happened, and we are officially back on Dash Radio. So if you're listening on Dash Radio,
please let us know.
It's not even massive. We do get a lot of correspondence, but if you're listening to us right now on Dash Radio in America somewhere, please tweet at Computer Game Pod or send an email.
Haven't we negotiated a 2.5 hour slot now? So this bit will be cut off.
No. It's different now. But basically, I've told her what our average show length is because they had a change of heart and have a show length, and then whatever it's up, if it's plus or minus that, they'll add music.
Okay.
So we could be looking at 29 minutes of music on Dash Radio after the show ends. Anyway, if you listen on Dash Radio, please email us, podcast@thecomputergameshow.com. It will be amazing to see if anyone actually listens on Dash Radio. I'm sure I do. Probably hundreds of thousands do, actually, if I believe what I'm told. That's it. Yeah, that's it.
Cool. Right. Thanks very much for listening. Sorry about the Destiny bit. It won't happen again. It's just the new expansion came out and I got excited. But aside from that, thank you for letting us be natural. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.